got some beers. Let's drink them, huh?
If you really want some film at 11, why don't you follow me down to the brewery? I'll tie a bowling ball to my ankle, dive in the vat of beer. I'll leave this world the same way I entered my marriage, dead drunk.
Hello.
Want a beer?
Hook it up.
Hey, hook me up.
Yo, Herb, take it from the top. 1, 2.
Beer?
This is how we do it.
My mic sound nice, check 1. My mic sound nice, check 2. My mic sound nice, check 3.
Are you ready?
That's cute. I remember when I had my first beer.
You like parties? Yeah. We can invite all our friends and have soda and pie. Yeah. I hope no bad people show up.
My mic sounds nice, check 1. My mic sounds nice, check 2. My mic sounds nice, check 3. My mic sounds nice, check 4. My mic sounds nice, check 5. My mic sounds nice, check 6.
Are you ready?
You want some of this milk?
Rather have a beer.
What do you guys give me if I kill that bird? Barbara, that's a bald eagle. Get away, Baldy! Yeah!
Oh, good evening, and good evening. This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve, GovsRadio.com, live here on GovsRadio.com. Also, check us out over on Facebook on the Govs Radio Comedy Club channel. Check it out on YouTube, Govs Comedy Club channel. And, of course, live on our home base, GovsRadio.com. Tonight, we have some friends. Friends indeed. Dan and Brett from Long Beach Brewing Company are here. But first, we have to get to some sponsors. And our sponsor this evening starts with our buddies at VintageBeerShirtClub.com. VintageBeerShirtClub.com for all of your vintage beer shirt needs. Check them out, and when you're checking out, type in Wort, W-O-R-T, or Wort, in the promo code, and you're going to receive a percentage off your order. And it's delivered directly to your door, and it's really cool old school vintage beer t-shirts. Check them out, VintageBeerShirtClub.com. And Steve, what else we got going on?
Got Rosie's Draft Solutions. Rosie's Draft Solutions provides professional draft beer system services, line cleanings, and more for your establishment, so customers can enjoy the best quality beverages that you serve. They service bars, restaurants, halls, events, homes, and all other beverage establishments across Long Island and Westchester. Mention the Wort for a discount. These guys are probably one of the best on the island. They will freaking clean your lines. I got nothing more to say because if I go any further, it's gonna be dirty.
Yeah, well, we don't. We try not to start off that dirty, but they'll clean your pipes. They'll clean your pipes. So put it that way.
Shit out of your pipes. Lines.
Thank you, and of course, like Steve said, when you make the phone call when you go to Rosie's Draft, tell Nick the Wort sent you. We're also sponsored tonight by Brewbag. Brewbag for your mix of cornhole and beer pong. You ever want to play beer pong in the backyard without the messy, nasty grass and dirt that gets on that ping pong? Well, don't worry, you have a Brewbag. It is cornhole in the style of a beer pong. Rules apply. Go to brewbag.com or go to our Instagram bios. Click on the link and receive, I believe it's 10% off your order of your own brew bag. And now they are customizing their brew bag with full-on vinyl wrap stickers on that brew bag. So check them out. Go to brewbag.com or, again, head over to our Instagram page and check out our link. Pete, take it away.
VintageBeerShirtClub.com.
We did that one, yep.
Did he jerk you?
He's the best. You're the best.
He pays so much attention. I love him.
What was the other? What was the one you said? I missed that one.
TapHandles.com.
Sure, TapHandles.com.
Tavor.
Tavor for beer shipped right to your door. Go ahead.
Hartwell Wood Shop in Patchogue.
Can mention that.
Question mark, Long Island.
Yep.
That Brewers Hardware, possibly?
Yeah, buddy.
Brewers Hardware. Those delightful motherfuckers.
There it
Sending
is.
us gifts for all our guests.
That's
for
right.
all your
Small.
large format home brewing needs or your small commercial brewing needs, you need a quick part, brewershardware.com. They'll hook you up. I believe there's a promo code Wort for that to save some quiche. And that's it.
And we thank all of our sponsors for the show. It keeps us going and keeps us giving back to our guests. And our guests this evening, we have, as I mentioned, Dan and Brett from Long Beach Brewing Company. What up, boys?
Howdy.
What's up, guys?
Howdy.
Thank you for having us.
It's not a problem.
Thanks for coming on again.
The stars have aligned to have you guys on tonight. Before I mention that, though, just as a heads up for everyone watching, if you do miss parts of the show and you want to catch the rest of it, of course, we have plenty of platforms in the next 48 hours where our podcast version of the show, not the live radio version of the show, will be available for download. Go to iTunes and Spotify, and, of course, our boys over at the Hopped Up Network, where you have podcasts of craft beer all across the country. Check them out, hoppedupnetwork.com. And, gentlemen, like I said, the stars have aligned, and we were actually in a spot here this past week really pushing for the guest to acknowledge and confirm today's date, and we did not get that confirmation. And just as I was talking to Steve and Pete about what our backup plan was, Dan gives me a call. I got his voicemail. I listened to it. I went, well, here we go. Here's the show on Monday. What a good way to kind of talk about what they were asking to kind of be put on to talk about. And mind you that this is extremely important to them, and everything that they're about to talk about is something that even, the accomplished brewers probably at one point have gone through the logistical crazy nonsense that it takes to open a brewery. Guys, we've talked to you back in season 1 of our show. It's been 2 years of us doing a podcast, and you guys having beer to distribute and have. And so everyone has always been asking, where is Long Beach, or when, but where is it first, and then when is it opening? And I always send them to the Instagram page, right? Just show them what's going on. You'll get the updates. You'll figure it out. Go to longbeachbrewingcompany.com or whatever the website, if you Google search it. Guys, you're going to have to give me a start up on a little bit of the history. Lead us up to the people who have not checked out your episode on season 1 or your guest appearances on many of our live shows at Nassau Coliseum or any of our other road shows that we've done. You've been on all the time. Bring us up to date. Give us a quick start on when this journey began, and then we can get right into what we need to talk about tonight.
All right, I'll give it a reader because it starts with me. And then it happens along the way. It came up with the idea years ago. The story was great because I was home brewing with Pat, our other partner who couldn't make it tonight.
Well, and you know what? He's probably trying to guide Sully Sullenberg back into the airport.
That's precisely what he's doing tonight. Our air traffic controller partner. He's keeping the skies safe. The 3 planes that are up in the air right now.
What an easy job in the last 6 months. He's like, all right, there's 2 of you. You're good. You're plenty far away.
It's like, all right, I'm gonna go play some. What do they call that? Fortnite.
Oh, there you go.
Canasta.
Yeah.
Do adults play Fortnite or just kids? I don't even know.
There's some adults that do.
Doesn't.
Yeah, no, I don't have time.
There's also some adults that are playing it for the reasons they shouldn't be playing it.
Good point.
What does that mean?
It's early in the show.
Yeah, no, it's not.
We'll get to that.
He's referring to child predators, just so you know. Child predators. There you go.
Why don't you have a seat?
Yeah. We have a plate of cookies.
So the lore of the company is, as we started, Irish Day was a big deal. Irish Day is a big deal in Long Beach.
Yeah.
And I always throw a party. My wife and I would throw a party because the parade would stage on our street, and we would have our home brews.
Mm-hmm.
One of the years, everybody is nuts. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Everybody's drinking our home brew. We called it Suck It Sandy because it was the year after Sandy. So we took all our ingredients, stuck it together, and called it Suck It Sandy, whatever we had left in the garage. A bunch of kilt-wearing band guys saw our kegerator and lined up and just kept drinking our beer. And that's when I was like, I think,
we might have something here.
Back of my mind, maybe I think I got something here. And then fast forward to Dan coming in. And Dan, it's like I don't even know how to equate it. It's like you have a car that had no gas. You got this great car that had no gas. Dan comes in, and that was it. We were off to the races. Dan's talent, Dan's everything he does complemented what was going on, that what we were doing with the concept and everything, and that's where we are today. And we've been selling beer. We have been selling beer, and people love our beer. We're grateful for every bit of it. We're grateful for every bit of it. You're drinking the 3350A. I just want to say, somehow you have a 12 ounce over there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how beautiful. Look how
Mr. Steve gave me a. That's what my son
Size
calls Steve.
matters.
Yeah. Mr. Steve gave me a 16, but I had a 12 because I went to our friends over at Some Guys Beer and Soda, and they only had maybe a 12-pack of the 12 ounce left. So I grabbed a 6er to go because it's an easy drinker, man. It's like backyard beer.
How is it tasting? Because that's a couple of brews ago. How's it
That's
tasting?
fine. It's great. There's no skunkness. It's crisp. It's exactly how I remember it.
You know what that's part of, and that has a lot to do with Dan. It's packaging.
Yeah.
We were talking about that the other day, Dan. 0 DO, baby.
That's it.
That's
That
right.
that beer actually was a 0 DOB.
And look, there's still the same color. Good clarity. No cloudy, no sediment. It's perfect.
Explain to people that don't know, DO is the dissolved oxygen is the biggest killer of oxygen when you're killer of beer when you're packaging.
Yep.
And
So
Dan,
we've learned recently how detrimental that can be.
So much beer gone.
you're remaining
I don't
nameless.
want to know.
Yep, we'll remain
Leave it
nameless.
nameless.
Yeah. Well,
We don't want bad.
no,
It's us.
It's us. It
Oh,
was
no,
our
it's
beer.
us.
But we're right now still in litigation and emails back and forth about what we're
Which
going to
is
be doing.
going
about
great.
Who's responsible for that? Who's responsible for DO?
that. Well, we'll get into name calling when we don't get at least something in return.
We fucking better. We better get into the bitchy, petty name calling.
You really just you don't. You just,
Let's hope we don't, because we got a lot on our plate too.
Yeah.
No, it was no one that you guys would know. So it's not that. It's just probably a unfortunate mishap, and hopefully we can just, like any business, get something back on it for the time and tribulation and, of course, cost that we went through. So you guys know a lot about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, listen, if you're looking to do something, another project down the line where you won't get that added benefit of DO,
Now you're talking.
We can talk. We
Yes.
can talk.
Yes. We have ideas that did not go the way it's supposed to last time.
We had ideas. Execution, not so much.
Not so much. And that was none of our faults. Just to throw it out there.
Judge gives it a 0.1.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
0.1's good too.
Oh no. Not when that's the score of the beer.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, what would you give that on Untapped?
It's a pin drop in a belly flop diving contest. That's what it is.
That is a funny thing about Untapped. It's a remarkable. It's great, and
it's great and it's horrible.
Yep.
I wasn't gonna say it, but my partner did.
I'll say it for you. It's so great it eats a bag of dicks.
Yeah.
That's how great it is.
So many bags to eat. So many bags.
That's my favorite line, by the way.
Unfiltered Steve is the best.
It is.
I'm not a fan of Untapped. And
No. Who would be? I mean, what business owner would be at that point? Because as much as there's good, everyone just pays attention to the bad. That's what it is.
Well, the best thing was there was one that because Dan's always on it, and he said to me, "Can you believe what this one guy just said?" He goes, "I'm having Ghost Wave IPA. I hate IPAs. 1 star."
Yep.
I love
If you hate IPAs, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are you ordering that?
Bro, when we had the brewery open, I had a guy come in, hates peanut butter. What does he get? Yada yada yada. Gives it a quarter star. Comes back a week later, comes in, orders it again, and says again, "I hate peanut butter," and gives it a quarter star again.
God.
I realized who he was. A couple of guys that were in the tasting room, who I was friends with, said, "Hey, that jackass is here." I found him. I fucking found him, and I had a nice conversation with him. But
I'm sure you had a lovely.
But that's what you got to deal with. You got to deal with fucking.
You
asshole.
should have. What you should have done is switched it out.
Everybody's got an opinion.
Everyone
Just like
wants
an
to have their
asshole.
opinion heard
Everyone's
too.
got one.
Oh no, I gave him a free beer. That was, maybe it was a little doctored in the back room where the
Ooh.
bathroom was.
Little
I don't know.
habanero sauce.
That's what happened.
Well, you don't have to worry about the health department anymore. No one can come down to your establishment and fuck with you.
Well, that's where I heard that's where you did your cellaring.
Yes.
Toilet wine.
Toilet wine. Extra teabagging. I mean, dry hopping.
Brett, if I recall, the 3350A was one of the first beers you guys put together because it was the address.
Second
of
beer
the
we released.
Second
yes.
beer released. But it was like a favorite out on the 3350 address when you guys were down in Long Beach, correct?
Right. 3358 is the address of our building that we are currently in. And we had another name for the beer, but it got used by another local company.
Ooh.
So we had to go a different route.
Let the guessing begin, Steve.
I have an
Nerd
idea.
Girl?
I think I remember.
Was it Nerd Girl?
No.
Just kidding.
Put it this way, there was no way they could have known that we were going to call it that.
Okay.
So it wasn't like they heard us say it and then they ended up using it.
It was just a matter of coincidence.
It was just coincidental. It was going to be the name of the beer was going to be called Tidal Wave. We're friends with the guys from the band Taking Back Sunday, and we were going to do a collaboration with them at the time, and they were releasing that album.
Great album.
Exactly, and we were going to name that beer after that album for them, and kind of do like a cross promotion thing.
Right.
But at the exact same time that we were trying to put all the pieces together, Tidal Lager came out. And we were just like,
balls.
Yeah, which there was no way in hell they could have known that that's what we were doing. It just happens. I mean, a name's a name. You pick it and it didn't work, pick another one. So,
Worked on it,
Hernandez,
but logistically, we couldn't do it with Taking Back Sunday back then anyway because we were still trying to get our licensing. It was right that we were getting on board. So we just co-opted it for ourselves. And our boy from is he still? Where is he? Is he still a flying Belgian?
No, New Belgium.
New Belgium.
Yeah, Josh Hernandez. I don't know if you guys know him.
Big difference.
Josh
Hernandez. Flying Belgium, New Belgium.
That was
a faux pas.
Yeah.
Look, he's very close to us.
Yeah.
Very
close to you, apparently.
But
he's with us.
Josh was the one. He's like, hey, he's a consummate salesman. He's a great guy, and he's like,
Josh is a good man.
He's awesome.
And he said, why don't you use your fucking address? And that's the best address ever. And we were like, okay.
Yeah, it just fit. It fit the market, and then we went with it. And we were like, we wanted it to be one of our flagship beers anyways. I mean, I love Pilsners, a good drinking Pilsner any time of the year is awesome. And it even says that on the can pretty much. And Josh was like, if it's going to be your flagship beer, give it the address of your building. So
it's self-marketing then too.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because like when I go to any brewery, if they have a Pilsner, that's the one I'm hitting first because that's how you know how good they're doing. Because you can't
hide anything.
Right. You can't hide anything in a Pilsner. And this one's not a bad one.
You know what? I'll crack open the 16 Steve gave me, and I'll do a taste comparison for you. Not that my palate is that developed.
Bigger tastes better.
Bigger tastes better. Okay, I'll try it. Maybe in between. Give it a rest in between, and see if I got my taste buds back onto me.
Tastes better. Bigger tastes better.
You guys, obviously, we're talking about the address of the building you guys are in now. When did you first get into that building, sign the lease, and start to work on what needed to get done?
Well, we got in 2.5 years ago and busted our horns because it was a shithole. It was built in the 40s. It was an absolute shithole, built in the 40s, and whatever business was in 1940 till we went in, left their shit. So it was years and years and years of shit we had to take out, and it was miles of cable. There was dust. There were, whatever.
Layers of paint on the floor that were like this thick.
What was it? What was the use of the building?
What was in it?
Yeah.
Mortuary.
The best that it was when it was built. One of the zoning things that it was allowed to be was to manufacture creosote. So,
wow.
Jesus.
So luckily, I don't think we didn't find any bizarre cancer-causing black things anywhere.
That's good.
So when is creosote going to be an adjunct in a beer? What beers?
It already is. You haven't had our stout yet.
I thought it was in the black lager.
That one too. There's a little in there.
Gee, Harry.
It's an easy one to just float around. Yeah, you sprinkle a little bit here, a little bit there.
Lager, you think it would sell?
It might if you tell them what it is. People are like, I gotta try that.
So after we cleaned the whole place up, we got our licensing. 2 years now. We've been making beer.
Mm-hmm. And so distribution, pretty much right now. You were kegging, you had accounts, contracts. Basically self-distributing through just driving to different distributors and stuff like. Do you have like a secondary distribution network, or is it just you guys?
We just hooked up. I went to St. John's. We hooked up with another St. John's alumni.
Okay.
Name's Cliff Morello, and he owns Iron Horse Brewing.
There you go.
And
Iron Horse Beverage.
Iron Horse Beverage. What, man, I am just off tonight. Maybe I should do a gummy. I'll be back.
There you go. I think you need Snap it right back in.
Maybe I'll get a line with a gummy.
Bong hit, a gummy.
You just hit. Mike was like, "Who? What? Hey,
wait, who said gummies? Where's gummies? Where'd they go?"
But yeah, he's great because one of my main things, and I might have said that to you guys in the first thing, was we're not big fans of the distribution, the way it works here. And
I do recall that.
Yeah,
Steve, I'm sure you had your own experiences with that.
When they take 30% right off the top, and you're a small guy,
right?
No,
exactly.
No.
This guy's fantastic. He came to us, and we set a price with him. We set a price that he likes, and he orders from us, and he sells it, and he pays us for it. There's no contract. There's nothing. He's great. I mean, it's like this whole new way of doing business for distribution. So now we're available up by Niagara right now.
Nice.
Like that. For us, this little shithole brewery that can't get their tasting room open, it's fantastic. It's great. So he's really
everything. It's everything we need right now.
And he's out of Melville. He's a local guy, right?
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's funny, they came to us, and I guess they liked the name, or I don't know. Maybe they like Dan's face, which I don't understand, but something. And now that's kind of keeping us going.
Yeah.
Because the room is the thing we're trying to open up, and every small brewery needs a tasting room.
They do.
And our business
the life
geared that. Yeah, our business plan has been geared for that, and oh boy, it's been fun trying to get that open.
Well, we've been watching over the pandemic, the New York Brewers Association and the Think New York, Drink New York app, and how they're reaching out to breweries and trying to get them into events and virtual things, just trying to keep it going. And then, obviously New York City was shut down a lot longer than some of the areas of upstate and here on Long Island. But it's been like a really slow process going back to these places. And like you said, the tasting room is the lifeblood of these breweries. And so you guys have been doing a lot of work in getting and preparing that tasting room to be the premier point of sale outside of just the local distribution. What's been the progress on the tasting room now? I mean, where are we at in regards to being able to open up if we can open up?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, listen, I know there's an angry emoji there, but let's just suspend all things we're about to talk about for a moment.
How long were you waiting for that? Did you just have that queued up for the past 20 minutes?
It's a screensaver.
God bless you.
I mean, let's current situation aside, if you could immediately go, would you be guys ready to like open tomorrow? Would that be a?
Yes, absolutely.
You're 100% ready to go.
Well, it's all like a domino thing. Once we get approved, then we can finish. Like we have one toilet and one sink, and so we have bathrooms, but you have to finish the bathrooms, finish the handicapped access, finish the entryway, finish the sinks behind the bar.
Do handicapped people drink beer? though. I mean, how
like
important
wheelchair. I would assume there's not that many.
Everybody's important in our motto, our business motto.
Yeah.
Everyone is important.
Everyone that can buy a beer is important.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Everyone's important.
Cash in hand.
Drag your ass in, and you have money.
That's right.
Exactly. Even if you have no legs and no arms, I would drag you in and pull you.
I'll come personally
and
come
pour
get
the
you.
beer in your
Get
mouth.
one of those hats with the straws.
Yes, there you go. There you
So
go.
Dan would stick that person on top of his head.
Exactly.
You know what's real
You're
cool?
coming with us.
That this is our last show since we're going to be canceled now.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Well,
Dan.
I said everyone is included.
Right?
so-
No. Pete was
go.
I don't know
asking
about you guys.
a very important question that had no prior disposition to it. So there you go. But
Exactly.
the views of Pete do not necessarily reflect the views of the entire the Wort.
Did I just grasp myself?
You just
Do
grabbed
they ever-
yourself.
Scratch yourself.
Yeah, you're grounded.
I'm gonna
You're grounded.
have to make a new shirt that says "Free Pete." This is the one and only Free Graz shirt. But you're gonna have to get a Free Pete
Right.
shirt. You know, and Graz really likes you, Pete. So he's gonna be upset that you're following in his footsteps.
It's
$5. If I ever got double secret probation like Raz, he'd be like, Pete, let's start our own beer show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck
Has
O'Toole.
Grant been communicated from the?
There's a long story with that. We're going to give you guys the time to
Yeah,
talk
fair
about your story.
That's a
Story for
I know
another
a
day.
little bit of it, but I'll
Yeah.
bring you up to speed.
There you
All
go.
right. Beer free.
So yeah, I mean, you literally like within a few weeks of just getting your last approvals inside can pretty much go to work and get this done. Now I'm gonna let you go here so you can tell the whole story. What is holding you back truly at this point?
Let it rip, baby. Let it rip.
Well,
Do it.
See what?
Drop the knowledge there.
Dan and I spoke about this. We're just going to give you the facts
Good.
because I'm going to let you know as I give you the facts. There's a lot of color that you could imagine that our conversation, Dan and I's conversation, maybe 4-letter words here, but
I hope so.
here's the deal. So we're trying to get we have no parking lot, and that's where it starts and ends with the problem. The reason why we got it is we got an amazing rent for this place, and we said we're in an industrial area. Our hours are going to be when the industry is closed, so we're going to be open from 5 on in the weekdays and 12 to 11 on the weekends. During those hours, there's no one there. So we put our application in. We get our hearing. Hearing's delayed. We finally get our hearing. Our next door neighbors, Food. Oh, there you go. There's a fine beer. Food Authority, who is next door to us. You guys might not be familiar with the area. We share the loading dock with them. Their owner decided to contest our opening, and that's what opened up the whole can of worms. Because if we had our hearing and we presented we spent a lot of money for a traffic study. We covered our ass. This guy comes in. There you go.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him, but he probably looks like that.
Yeah, just that guy.
He's making me angry.
Yeah, well,
you don't even know.
Yeah, we're trying to keep smiles on. So because of him contesting it, now the whole thing gets delayed. These guys got to come in, see the site. They made a decision last week. Denied. They just simply denied it. I'm not sure if anybody really came down, because if they came down, they would have seen that it is a ghost town. There's parking on the street.
At the operating hours, tasting room operating hours.
Tasting room operating hours. So we're at this point we have just applied. Our lawyer, Dennis Kelly, who is a spectacular lawyer. It's called a reapplication. Reapplication. So we're reapplying. Hopefully they'll hear us again. We're not really sure if they'll hear us again. We're hoping they hear us again. But we're pleading with all our local politicians. We've spoken to some fantastic people, Todd Kaminsky's office, Kathleen Rice's office, Anthony D'Esposito's office. Great people. So we're hoping maybe they can help us. And, we want to contact Curran's office as well.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's so helpful, but we just got to get it all concentrated for this thing because, like you said, tasting room is the lifeblood of the place. And we've been denied, and we think we've been wrongfully denied because that place we're taking pictures. We took pictures every hour of every day that we are open.
Yeah.
And we sit there taking pictures of the street, and there's nothing.
Empty.
There's no traffic. There's no park. Nobody's parked. So they're ruling. We don't know.
Unfounded in a way that there's no evidence that would interfere with daily business and day-to-day activity.
Now,
Does
and
Brewers
not even
already
an
have a
explanation.
Yelp page that we can go leave 1-star reviews on for no reason?
Yeah, can we go to what was it, Compare Foods? What was the company?
Well, they're not
Authority.
there anymore.
Food Authority. Yeah, well they're not there anymore. And see, that
But
was
they
the
still
biggest thing.
exist. They still exist.
Right, they're
still-
still a company, just not in that
They
spot.
just closed that building, and that was the big thing. Like he made his he contested it, and then immediately sold the building.
I want to back up for a minute because when Dan and I were talking as the pre-production, we were talking a lot about kind of what was going on, and I had a lot of questions. So I want to back up for a minute to give people the complete scope. You move in. It's like an opportunity that you jump at, obviously, because of the way it laid out, the check marks of a brewery, the plumbing, the sewer, the location, industrial area, thinking that most places...
Good size. You have room for growth in the production space.
Yep.
The tasting room is a good size. Absolutely.
Price per square foot was phenomenal.
Right.
Exactly.
In Nassau
Steve said it
County, believe it or not.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And you have a number of breweries in Nassau County, in that area, that have followed
Walking
that same
distance from
model.
us.
Right. Making it almost, and I was saying to Dan, it
The
makes
ocean's it's very nice. Can't wait to hear what
very
you think.
nice.
Steve.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's
Very nice.
nice.
How much?
Do
Please
that.
feel free to let us know what you think about these.
Oh, listen. You know
The
what I
Channel
think about
Keller
it.
was great.
Drinking the shit out of it.
And the Ghost Wave is a refreshed recipe, I think, since the first time we had you guys on, right?
It's constantly tweaking.
It smells fantastic, by the way.
Thank you.
That might be my next one in between my tall pills. So anyway, you're going back. So you get this building, and obviously very excited about it. What are the first few steps for like zoning or getting your meetings? I want to know why all of a sudden, literally in the 12th hour here, that they're denying you when they knew you were existing for years now, and they knew what the intention was. They knew what was going on. What was the process in the first few months or years that got the ball rolling? What was the first thing you guys had to do, and then move on from there?
Well, we're zoned industrially, so we got our equipment in, we got it hooked up, and we started making beer and self-distributing. That's all we could do, self-distribute. And Steve, you could attest to this too. Like, there's a lot of learning. The learning curve was huge. But we settled into it quick as we could and started making beers. And between the three of us and Dan we have a 10-barrel brewery that Dan just started killing it on. And whatever ideas we come up with, those things that we haven't used our pilot system once. There you go. Look at that artwork. That artwork is Dan's. That's beautiful.
I could imagine Dan in his garage just sitting there with a bucket of different paints, like doing splatter work and then like almost finger paint, because it has like that really cool. Look at that. It got the wave in there.
The wave. I'll show you the original painting.
That's fantastic. Oh, he's got the original.
The great story about this is hilarious because, I made my first label. I'm like, oh shit, we have to make labels for cans. It didn't occur. And
look at that.
And a shitty label
Hey.
because it was my first label. And I see that. Show it again. Dan, show it again. So I see this. I'm like, why the fuck didn't you show me this thing?
There it is. There's the crest, the barrel.
Right. And so I make all the labels, and I love it, but it's just another facet. Like people say, open up a brewery, it's easy. It's like, no, it's like a shoe store is easy to open up. You buy shoes.
Based on what I've learned in the past few years, opening up a brewery is anything but fucking easy.
Or fun.
Yes,
really
multi-layered.
Yeah.
It's so multi-layered, but we love it. We love every bit of it. We love every bit of it.
The whole process. At the beginning, it's all joyful. You're high-fiving after a brew comes out the way you want it to. You're distributing. You're getting feedback. That's all definitely a positive direction. And then, like I said, once you start building out the tasting room, as you're bringing in funds from distribution and self-distribution, independent, you're returning it right back into the brewery, just building and building and building to that bigger moment. Obviously, to do this, to get the tasting room open, you also need health inspections, electric inspection, fire marshal. Have those steps already happened throughout the process?
We've had oddly enough, the health inspections, and Steve can back up on this. If you have a brewer's license, I called up the health department. They're like, no, you're governed under brewers.
Really? Agriculture and Markets is the one that deals with all the breweries.
Yes.
And I for me, it was, we had a gentleman show up once a year, and he'd walk around, and we were really good at what we did. And we never had a problem. Yeah, they would find, you have to find something, but something that could be fixed right then and there. Maybe they stop in again if you're a shitty place and you're dirty. When I stopped in the other day, I looked around and I would have been easily able to find something, but there was nothing. I didn't see anything.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I spend a lot of time cleaning in that place, man.
Bro, I guarantee you do, because again, I didn't. I've been to other breweries and I'm like, how do they fucking keep you guys open? How do you stay open?
Well,
I've been to real shitty breweries.
The question
we spent the whole day today. You were there just yesterday.
Yeah, you were cleaning.
Everything was clean.
Yeah.
Brett and I acid washed the entire building again today.
Nice.
And we do it all the time.
And you almost have to, right? As a brewer, you can't have any contaminants even get in through the air, filtration system into the brew, because it'll just ruin an entire, multi-$1,000 batch of beer that's going out. You can't have that. You got to be clean. I think that's partially why they leave it up to that, because they know it has to be clean, otherwise they're not turning out good product.
Absolutely.
The first time I wanted to break quarantine and go beer shopping, that's how I justified it to my wife. I said, sanitation is so important to these places. When there isn't a life-altering pandemic, they can't afford to have any of that shit around. So
that's right.
It's the safest place to go on. Of course I'm going to a brewery.
Right, because we have our sanitizer. That was the one thing people loved, is we have our food safe sanitizer, and we're spraying it on the cans as we're handing them to them.
Just ISO everywhere. Just ISO everywhere you go.
Right, but that was something that really saved us, because getting this they delayed our hearing date forever. But COVID actually was a little bit of a blessing for us, because
it helped us.
It helped us because now we can sell. Now we can do takeout at the brewery without having anything else.
Arts and crafts, huh?
Yeah,
It's a land family
show.
Yeah,
it'll
creates
end
a tower.
family. I'm just gonna preface that now. This won't end well.
I'm really proud of you. Your arts and crafts skills are getting really good.
You get an A for effort.
I'm at a first grade level. I'm
wait till the interns come out, and you'll get a nice reward. You can go buy a toy at Toys R Us.
Yay!
Or Target. You can't even go to Toys R Us anymore. I just found an immense empathy for what you guys went through just to get to this point, and to be stripped away of what you guys have invested into this, and are basically, and I said this to Steve earlier, it's your livelihood. It's just some fucking bullshit. It's like, at any point throughout the last 2 years, somebody probably could have mentioned this, that you might have some sort of issues with the douchebags next door. You might have an issue, and that would have at least clued you in on it to start documenting like you're doing now and showing everybody.
I got a good one for you.
Oh, boy.
The owner, the guy that started this corporation next door to us, came into our building to tell us what an amazing job we were doing building this facility and how great it was. And he wished us all the success in the world. And if we ever needed anything, to please contact him. And then he gave the business to his son. Well, his son turned out being a real wonderful human being.
Yes.
I have to. He's a silver spoon motherfucker. I can't help it. He is a
boom.
He Hunter Biden you.
Yeah. Bad. Real bad.
No.
Whoa,
too soon? Too soon? Sorry.
No, more like that guy.
Too close.
Too close.
Too close to the election for that shit.
Well, I know from talking yesterday. So another company has bought that building.
Right.
Yes.
I have the oddest feeling just from talking with Dan and going over a few things, that the sale of that building was connected to you guys not getting that tasting room open.
Yeah.
We feel the same way.
And I'll say it for you guys. So, somebody somewhere is getting their pockets lined by this. I feel, because I've dealt with shit like that before. And I know there was a point where I swore to God that a guy I was dealing with from the town was trying to shake me down, and without actually saying it to me. And I'm like, you're not doing that to me. I am fucking not going to do that. And it almost sounds like the same kind of thing is going on. These people are making a decision on your livelihood and fucking laughing behind closed doors. Yeah.
Well, we can't. It's all conjecture for us. I mean, you might have a point, but it's conjecture. We can't say anything. But when one of them ruled, I can send you guys the link. When one of them ruled, she left. When one of them ruled on the denial, she left.
Nice.
What if, and I mentioned this to Dan, and I was talking to Steve about this. What if, all right, this second reapproval process gets denied? That pretty much spells doom, right?
We have one last thing. Article 78, which is an appeal to their decision. Slim chance. That means going to court. That means a lot of money.
Now, let me ask you though. You guys are farm brewers?
Yes.
Why not just use it as a production facility? And I know it's more money. Trust me, bro. I know.
Well, we're at. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
Try to do what St. James has done, and they've done it successfully. Blind Bat has done it. There's a few breweries that production facility, and then they take, they have a tasting room somewhere else that nobody's going to bust their balls. And now you could sell the beer how you've wanted to do it. And now your building is actually, you could put more tanks. You could do a lot more stuff instead of having a tasting room, because I know the feeling of, that uphill climb and constantly getting shot down. You almost, you feel helpless.
And with that said, is there a time period after, if in fact you get denied again, is there another time period where you can go for another reapproval or a rebuttal? Is there a statutory of time? I forget what it's called.
Well, this is the thing. Because Dan and I have been talking all day. I forgot to tell him. Is we're going to concurrently. We're filing for this hearing, and then the appeal is going to be filed right after that.
Okay.
Whether we decide or can afford to go through it, that's the problem. Because this,
that's the other thing, man.
They drag you through the coals.
Yeah. They're going to make you just empty it out.
Steve, to answer what you said is we would easily be able to open up a tasting room somewhere, but we're deep in the shit right now. Yeah. We are deep in the shit. We can't afford to do anything right now except open up what's there, because we don't have the money. We don't have the resources to open up another place somewhere. Yep. And unfortunately, that's what it comes down to. The business plan was this tasting room gets open, but now we're leveraged so much in that address. Unless we get investors, we've been talking about getting investors.
Well, I was about to ask you. I mean, do you have a third party as of right now, or it's just the three of you guys?
It's just the three of us.
Okay, so you have room for another partnership with an investor if someone were to come out of the woodworks and say, I got $100,000, I can loan you to at least get a storefront going.
Yeah, right. We're now considering that, because we're in DEFCON 5 now. We're in DEFCON 5. So
just to be clear, they're just denying the certificate of occupancy for the tasting room. They're okay with you operating a brewery. They just don't want you having customers in there.
They don't want us having patrons in the building.
Now, because it's a whole dance. It's a whole dance because we don't have a parking lot, and that's where it begins. Because we don't have a parking lot, so we have to prove people can park on the street, and people can park on the street. But for some reason,
And so when I went down after my little stint over at South Shore on opening weekend, I actually traveled over to you. You guys had left. I think I sent you a message saying, I stopped by, just check out the building. No one was there. Yeah. And you guys you just must have missed us, whatever. So I said, all right. So I actually scoped it out. And I'm, walking around a little bit. If you had security cameras, you'd see me that day, kind of walking up and down the block. Because there's a loading area, and that's, 2 spots and a dock. And then the rest of the street, Lawson Avenue, has plenty of on-the-shoulder street parking. So we're talking about blocks and blocks.
Which is public parking.
Public parking, blocks and blocks of on the same side of the street, all the way going back to the train tracks almost, where the station is back there, and then going all the way south to the bridge. I mean, you could literally park within a 3-mile area or length or whatever it is, and walk down in there. There's got to be at least 30 to 40 spots available.
Yeah, I parked there on a Saturday, no problem.
Yeah.
Now, Dan, didn't you say you guys did a traffic?
We had a traffic analysis expert do basically his job, and he addressed the town, telling them that there were, at any given time that he was there was at least 30 spots available at any given time during his length of stay while he was monitoring the situation on that block.
Yeah, point A to point B. Say 5 to 8.
This is a service that he provides. He does this, so it's not like
he's a professional. He's
an expert.
No, it's not. He's an expert. He is licensed to do this job, and he has worked for. I think he's been doing it about 30 years. Am I right, Brett?
Yeah, I mean, he does it. He does it for all sorts of things. It's not just
right.
It's not.
And he said there was 30 spots, and
at any given time.
That was conservative, and then there's there's minutia of other places we could park and get contracts with people. But
right now, what did the town have to say about this?
Look, all I can tell you is we can send you the link afterwards, and you can see what they said, and what they said. All I can say is what they said was we were there, denied. That we went down and we looked at it, denied.
No
explanation, just denied.
Yeah.
No explanation whatsoever.
So
just denied.
Let's talk about
this. And
this.
then a chuckle, a laugh, and I don't know where they thought they were going to park.
Bunch of dicks. Packs of dicks. Bags of dicks.
But a professional, someone that does this service for 30 years, 25 years, saying that there's ample parking, but that wasn't good enough for them.
And that's the source of the denial,
on their own minutia, they're like, oh no, this is fucking no parking.
Yeah.
Have you heard of this little company called Uber?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, all of those
Here's
factors.
the future.
Like we're I mean, I'm not going to badmouth them. I don't know them, but like we're talking about older people that are part of this zoning, so they're not thinking in context of how people now go to bars and things.
Yeah, the demographic of people traveling.
They take taxis. There's not going to be as much parking, but there's still that archaic thing. Like if you want X amount of people in your place, you have to have X amount of parking spots, and it's that simple.
Now there are plenty of breweries on Long Island that don't even come close to 30 parking spots. That's the first thing that dawned on me. If you look at the village of Lindenhurst.
God. Do you want to? I was
Village of Lindenhurst.
And I was just going to say,
complain about parking all the time. No. It's anybody or any business.
They give them like Bright Eye.
Yeah.
Bright Eye has nothing. And Long Beach was great enough to say, we understand, but there's all this other parking. We understand you could stay open. Like that. Long Beach had the insight to say, we'll figure it out. They'll figure it out. People will figure it out how to park. It's not the same case.
Like you said, there's other things besides you driving your car.
Right.
Between Uber, Lyft, the train, for Long Beach.
Yeah, you can walk
right down the fucking block.
Yeah.
Oceanside's a 5-minute walk. Oceanside's train station's a 5.
Oceanside, yeah. But that's what's so fucking weird is that you have other breweries on Long Island that open up and never have to go through this. So like you said, it started with that company's lawyer, and then that was just the bad taste. Is there any way that anyone can think of, and this is going out to anyone that's listening today, and that's the reason why we brought Dan and Brett on today, just so if anybody is hearing this and catching this, if they have any thoughts or ideas, even if it's not specific to Nassau County and specifically to the town of Hempstead, but if it's across the country, if anyone's ever dealt with something like this in their local area, what was the, I don't want to say workaround, because you're trying to make the relationship work, the partnership of the town and you
We want to
work.
do everything legal.
Right.
Everything. We have not cut one corner anywhere.
But if there's an
We've
angle
done everything
that,
by the book.
if there's an angle that no one is thinking of that we can address or at least
We'll
go
take
through.
anything. I mean, we are, we're at a point where we're desperate. And what you said is exactly right. If anybody can think of anything, we're contacting every politician.
Yep.
We're going to do what we can. I mean, that's it's sad that it's come to this point because, and when you're making a good beer, when you're making beer that people like and keep buying and buying and buying and buying, that's the bittersweet thing.
And I was just about to say, are we going to accept? Are we going to accept taking good beer off the table of Long Island? I mean,
Are
that's
you going to accept taking, jobs and a business and a tax stream away from the town?
right.
Especially when, like, the saddest thing is businesses are closing because of COVID.
Yeah.
Businesses are closing left and right because of COVID, and we're trying to open, and they're like next door to us. That place closed next door because of COVID, and
it did.
Yeah.
They supplied
COVID put them out of business.
They supplied all the the whole produce for the airports.
Oh
Yeah, all the prepackaged stuff for the airplanes. Airstream.
So
was
there would be
secondary.
a Yelp page where we can leave shitty reviews about airline food.
Airline food.
Yeah.
Well, because they are still a business. They may not be in that building.
Authority. They're called Food Authority, and whatever you want to do to them, I'm happy.
Now, what's the new company that's coming in there?
We're not sure of the name yet, and
I
hopefully
think it's Winters or something like that.
Now, would an angle be to contact them, and maybe have? I know they wouldn't have any horse in the race in this one, but contact them and say, here's the deal. This is what's going on. Is there any way you can support a local business now that you're moving into this area to kind of stand up for us and say you'd be willing to accept having this in the area? Is that something that's on the table?
Yes, because we got signatures from everybody in the area, all the businesses. And every single one of the businesses that we told them what Food Authority was doing was either what the fuck is wrong with them or why the fuck are they doing that? Those are exact quotes. Every single one of them said those things.
And that was my...
We got one comment that was awesome. That spoon-fed motherfucker is screwing with you guys. That was the guy from one of our neighbors. Was like, that guy's a piece,
that's right. Yep,
that guy's a piece of shit.
And
he's a spoon-fed little bastard that's never worked a hard day in his life.
And what benefit did it have to have an empty building then set up to? That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people have like these,
it's only conjecture. It's
right.
Because they're...
Well, I'm throwing it out there also to the people listening. Think about it. What benefit would it have for people to destroy the livelihood of people next door?
It's not
in
like
a
you're
business?
next to it's not like you're next to a restaurant where you're going to be competing for parking at the same time.
Correct.
Or
think about this.
Like you're next to a school within 300 feet, but you're close enough where...
We're looking at you, Delvino Vineyards.
None of that. I think, there's two things. There's two schools in this. It's either he was obviously selling the place, so he didn't want, because his lawyer said, oh, you're going to have drunk people stumbling into the loading docks and get in the way of our trucks, which is fucking ridiculous because, of course, we're going to protect our customers. Of course, we're not going to let them in the loading dock.
And here's the other flip side of that is, aren't your truck drivers looking where they're going?
Or aren't they responsible enough to not drink during working hours?
And the second thing, I don't mind saying it, I'm only saying what other people have told us that know him.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This thing with this, he's a silver spoon. He's vindictive. He's just not a pleasant guy.
This is what the other neighbors have told us.
Okay. Neighbors have told us he probably was so pissed off that he had to close and you were opening.
Yeah.
That
yeah, that makes sense.
They're a multi-million-dollar operation.
And you know what? That probably makes the most sense to me. That he's just, sour grapes.
Right. And these are things like, Dan and I the whole time, and Steve can attest to this, you're opening up a brewery, somebody's going to put a fucking wall in front of you. And Dan, we're not over, we're not around, we go through the walls. This one is like we
don't
feel
know
like
how to get through this one.
Do wall. you know.
So
and that's why I'm grateful you guys brought us on.
It brings me back to the question for the new people moving in. Now that they have purchased the space and they're moving in, is there a way to get in touch with that company to try to jump on your side and say, listen, town, you got to cut the shit. You know, this is a great local business. We want to build up the area. You know, we're not operating within that time. I'm not worried about parking. You know, I'm sure a company, if I was part of that company, now that I've purchased and started putting tax dollars into the pot, you know, as a tax-paying business, I'd like to see this brewery open. Is there a way to kind of push that envelope a little bit?
Yeah, well, of course. I mean, as soon as we find out who are the operators in that place, we're going over there and we're going to try to make a good relationship. Yeah. We had a great relationship with everybody on that staff in the old place because we shared a loading dock.
Loading dock team, the whole thing, yeah.
Managers, everybody. We had a great relationship, and then we were blindsided by this. Everybody was blindsided. Our lawyer was blindsided. Nobody saw this coming. So
it's funny too because I remember seeing you guys posts like, yeah, we're getting the tasting room together. It shouldn't be long. We're just hoping for, and then all of a sudden there was nothing, and I'm like, man, I wonder what the fuck's going on. And
exactly. So we'll wait.
With Ken, I was like, oh Jesus Christ!
Bomb dropped. Yeah. Bomb dropped, right.
So take us through the next few steps. You have a reapply, and then you also have 2 more routes to go to, correct?
Well, there's one more route, and then there's 2 more. One of them's the second one we won't talk about. The other route, the Article 78, where it's lawyers, it's litigation.
Would it be a public hearing?
But again, it's money that you could be putting into the brewery.
Right. No, I'm sorry.
Money we don't have.
Right.
I know that feeling, brother.
Yes. Well, the first one's a rehearing, so it's the same thing we went through last time.
Okay.
They rehear we've got this new evidence, we've got all these new things. If that doesn't work, then it's this Article 78 bullshit.
But is that rehearing a public event?
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's a public event. So Dan and I were talking about this. The last time we didn't want to upset the zoning board. We didn't want to rock the boat. This
Too
time,
late.
We're going live. Tell everybody about it. We're going to
going live.
We're going to get thousands of people getting in because comments. You can make comments. You can do whatever you want for the hearing, and we're just going to get as many. We got 150 signatures. 150 signatures from businesses and local residents that said, we want these guys open, and they completely ignored it. So, we don't know. We're at a loss.
You guys got over 6,000 followers on Instagram, so
yes,
you put that shit on Instagram, I guarantee you're going to get some people down there, and they're not going to be.
Not to mention all the other breweries that.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that might be the key too, is to get those guys, all those guys, on the live feed, or to show up in person. I think showing up in person, especially now in the pandemic where people aren't really supposed to gather, and then you're going to put a bunch of people out there, and that also might be the curse. But if we're outside creating noise, doing stuff like that.
That'd be fucking great.
Yeah, I got a bullhorn. You don't think I don't have a bullhorn. I got a big voice.
Listen, you could freaking film it and put it live stream it. It's not the Wort podcast. It's the Wort news team.
Ooh, I like it. Live on the scene. I could be reporting. I'll do a stand-up with a
Are we
going
to be part of the lamestream media? Is that?
We are. The media mob. We'll be part of the media mob.
Let me ask you: have you guys reached out at all to Paul Leone over at New York State Brewers Association?
Yeah.
To see if he has any connections down here with anybody that you guys could talk to.
Not yet. That we haven't done.
I would definitely reach out with Paul, because Paul's got the Brewers Association's got a lot of feelers and connections throughout New York State.
Albany.
And it could possibly hook you up with somebody that might even be able to help without charging you something.
Yeah. Well, and also, if you think about
maybe you could get some influence from Cuomo.
There you go.
Well,
Cuomo, Chris Cuomo.
Listen, Cuomo,
loves his brewery.
Yeah.
He loves New York breweries.
He does.
So,
it's not a bad. It's not a bad avenue to throw him some information.
Breweries, wineries, distilleries. He loves the.
He's a real booze hound, that Cuomo.
I'll hit.
Well,
just one.
he
big
loves New York
Italian
State
lush.
small business. That's what it is. New York State small business. As we're in a time where we're starting to lose a lot of that business, and we have ones that want to open and contribute back to the state. Why wouldn't you want to support that?
And the other thing is, we had testimony at our hearing. We're not only contributing tax dollars, we're a part of the community. We have been doing fundraisers even before we got our licensing. And that's what's really killing us, because it's one of the main parts of our company is we give back to the community constantly. We constantly are doing functions that raise money, raise awareness, raise food, all these things that we do. And none of it was part of it.
They just shrugged it off like, so what? We've done diabetes for JDRF.
Yep.
We've done events and raised money for them. We did the food bank in Long Beach. We raised can for can food. We did. You name it. We've done a bunch of stuff.
And I think these are the perfect people to come out, at least a representative from each of these places to come out for that live.
And we're actually in the middle of setting up Toys for Tots.
There you go.
With the Marines, with the local Marines. Yeah. So
but we don't want your drunken people falling off the goddamn platform in front of the truck.
With or without toys.
There'll be 500 people on that platform getting crushed by trucks. I know it.
What?
They'll
There's
be
no
grabbing a toy, getting shitballed.
Yeah. They. But I'm serious. I mean, that might be, that movie moment where you come out of the doors and you have the paper and we've been approved.
Great.
I mean, that would be ideal. Is it realistic? It could be. If they see enough support in the community.
I hope you're right.
I think that would be great. You definitely got to get that information out there for everybody.
Peaceful presentation outside the hall. I mean, no big deal.
No,
Listen,
I don't think.
That's a great idea.
Thing.
But I'm so happy.
One thing.
You got great ideas. You guys give us some great ideas. This is great.
Definitely.
If we go out, I'm not going out quietly. I promise.
No, hell no. Well, you got to until the fat lady sings, then you can unleash.
Right.
But until then, you play nice.
Well, no, I mean, I don't mean it like I'm going to go out violently. I'm just saying, I'm going to.
I just want to go home.
I just want to go home, man.
I wish I had my soundboard here with me tonight. I don't have that sound.
Damn
it. I tried.
But that's the thing. Like, again, Steve can attest to this. Like, we think, we have our homes, we have our families, but like that's our other home. The brewery's the other home. And now somebody else is threatening us.
Yep.
It's not us. We're doing whatever we can. And then we get these outside forces, and it's just, I don't mind.
It may have
tough.
What were you saying, Dan?
I may have in the last 2 years spent more time in that building than I have in my own home.
Yeah.
But that's what needs to get done.
I know you know, Steve.
Yeah, Steve knows.
I know you know, Steve.
Oh, there. And here's the thing, though, and you guys know it. It's almost a like it's peaceful. Even if it's,
I love it.
It's even if you're having a bad fucking time in the brewery, it's all you. It's nobody's there
in that building alone.
Nobody's there to pick on you. Nobody's there to tell you to do shit. You're doing your stuff, and at the end of the day, when you walk away, you're like, I've done something.
Exactly.
It's some sort of catharsis.
That is
it.
I get
there some days, 5 a.m., and I don't even turn the radio on. I sit there the whole day alone brewing.
Yep.
No sound. The only sound I hear are the fucking pumps spinning on the brew system. And I don't care that there's no music. And the time went by like that.
Yep. And that's the crazy part too, is the time goes by like that, because before you know it, you're like, holy shit, it's what time?
I gotta go home.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Exactly. I love every minute of being there, man. I love every minute of being there.
Yeah, you were in the same position that we're in, because we have full-time jobs, we have families.
Yep.
The brewery, like, that's the other thing that's a big deal, because we're still got our regular jobs doing the brewery, and that like you had to do that balance. I mean, how was it for you?
Wait, you don't make $1 million on a brewery where you don't have to work another job?
Oh that doesn't really happen.
It's a secret.
They tell you that when you go to school, but
school. You can do this for a living.
Yeah, bro, it was
magic.
I worked. I was in at work at 5 a.m. I'd get home by 1:30, half hour to get changed, eat a little something, and then go to the brewery, and then get home by 11 o'clock at night, shower.
Yep.
But you know what?
You loved it.
All good.
I miss it.
Anytime you want to brew,
I'd be a liar.
You come by and brew with us anytime you want.
Door is open, my friend. Door is open.
Well, if we didn't have such a bad experience contract brewing with somebody else, then we probably wouldn't take you up on that offer. But in a sense, we might have to be taking you up on that offer before anything bad happens.
Well, I have this crazy idea, and I'm going to put it out to you guys first, only because my son is like still crazy. It bothers him that the brewery's not open anymore.
I heard him in your ear the other day.
So we closed January 11th was our last day. We closed the doors and that was it. I'm going to reach out to a few breweries and give the recipes of a bunch of different beers that were very, very popular, and then have each brewery. And again, I don't want no money from it. I don't, just like an homage type of thing where each brewery brews a certain beer, releases it. We'll give you the label. You can put your own logo, your own logo on it, and just kind of hey, one last hurrah.
Way to let that beer live on too. Those people really liked.
On the week of when we closed.
Well, if we're still here.
Yeah,
that's why I'm bringing it out. I want this to be a reason why you stay open now.
Yeah,
well, it is a reason.
Just staying open for yourselves.
I got a million reasons to stay open, and that's another one on the list.
Go.
But if that does come to fruition, you have to be there to brew it.
Oh, I would go to every fucking place because there's no fun just giving a recipe. The fun is hanging out, brewing beer, getting sweaty, drinking beer,
naked,
and just fucking laughing.
Now we're talking.
Wait a minute. Who said naked?
No, I thought you said naked. Yeah, hanging out at the brewery, naked.
Oh, you didn't say naked?
I thought he did.
Well, now I'm not going.
I have no problem with being naked.
Well, now it's not worth any of it. I'm throwing this up on.
The only problem
tend to resist the whole time.
When you're cleaning out a man, you might get some acid on your shit.
That's all right. Then you wear shitty clothes. What's a little acid wash? It'll feel good.
A little acid on your ass. It's okay.
As long as it repels the COVID, we're good to go.
Is that anal bleaching?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
And if you started a beer called anal
played,
bleaching, no.
Well played,
Brett. I wouldn't know because I manscaped, so I don't know.
That's good.
Wait, the anus? That's a tough one to personally manscape. That
you got to get in there. You got to get it in there.
Well,
this is the content.
Yeah.
This is the content why I don't listen to this podcast.
wait a second. You're the one. I feel the proper process for that is you take a mirror, you lay it on the floor, and you squat over it.
Oh, here we go.
And then you get the business done. I'm just spitballing here on how this is supposed to work. I'm just spitballing here.
Or, as I'm hoping my wife's not listening, you have a really, 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 really awesome wife who will do that for you.
She puts up with my shit.
I put up with my shit.
She cleans
literally.
She cleans my ass pubes off of the mirror in all of the bathrooms and bedrooms.
Fantastic wife, but she would never fucking do that.
We have a bunch of people.
I want to ask.
Yeah, well, no, don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell in my world.
That's right.
So we have a bunch of people on Instagram checking in. Darian Lucas NY wants to be part of our request, but the problem is, Darian, no one's going to be able to hear you into the Zoom. So if you want to check us out and throw some comments on our Facebook page, go to Facebook, type in Govs Comedy Club Radio, and we're over there. And then Iron Horse Beverage just checked in and said, "What's up?" And
Here we go. Hey,
wave.
Cliff. What's going on?
Up, Cliff.
Cliff's there. So I apologize for anyone who wants to interact with the Instagram Live, but we can't do that. They can hear us now.
Fucking Zoom.
But Darian says thumbs up. Sorry about that. But go over to the the Facebook page, and then you could type in your questions and comments or anything else. Again, someone that may have an idea of how to figure out the Jumanji type of game that's been placed in front of Long Beach Brewing Company would be awesome. And if you don't know what we're talking about, you'll have to go back and listen to the last 40 minutes. What'd you say, Brett?
I said I have no idea what the hell it is. I'm 55. What's Jumanji?
Talking about Robin Williams Jumanji, not The Rock Jumanji.
Whatever. All right, you want to say Parcheesi? You want to say a crossword puzzle? I was just trying to give a good word.
Well, I think is what it.
Also, if anyone is listening after our show tonight, head over to the Beer Narrator on Instagram. He's got a really great craft beer trivia show every Monday night at 9:30. Also sponsored by our sponsor, VintageBeerClubShirt.com. Where do you think we got our sponsor from? Thanks, Scotty.
And guys, I do have to say, just looking at some of the Facebook posts, people are a little pissed, and they're behind you guys.
Yeah.
So thank you.
They are all kind of saying the same things we've been saying, that they're doing something they shouldn't do, and maybe somebody's pockets get lined, and it's bullshit.
Now,
either way,
doesn't that really set the precedent though for new business in that town? I mean, that's another piece of the awareness puzzle that we should throw out there. That if we can make people aware that there is some shady dealings going on in the town, alleged shady business going on.
I mean, that's conjecture.
All we're gonna
conjecture.
Me and
correct.
Brett, I'm going to speak for Brett at this moment.
Okay.
Sorry, Brett. It took one person to sway the town of Hempstead to look the other way on us.
Yep.
And that just does not sit right with me. It's not okay.
Especially
somebody planted a seed, and that seed was don't let them open.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, our livelihood's been changed.
Especially since you had all the signatures from all the other tenants in all the other places up and down Lawson.
Residents.
Right.
That's why I really think we're going to need an outpouring at that live reapply to show the physical support, not just signatures that people just claim it's fake. You want to see actual bodies in the parking lot, in the building, wherever they can be, spread out 6 feet with a mask. Just to show that there's actually people that give a shit about the brewery. I think that would speak volumes at that rehearing.
And as much as, yes, it's the brewery, it's also the small businessman. And that's a big thing now.
Again, setting the precedent for the future moving forward.
The little guy, you know what? Those are the guys that keep everything running. The big guys, they don't care about anybody. They don't, don't.
That's what we had next door, right, Steve?
They don't want to help out the community. It's the small guys that do it, that do the food drives, that do the freaking Toys for Tots, that do all that stuff.
St. Baldrick's, the breast cancer walks, the testicular cancer month, the everything that's out there that you can raise funds and awareness to while still enjoying.
How many years did we do food drives? Every small brewery on Long Island did a food drive.
We did. We were part of that one year as well.
Yeah,
we got invited.
It's ridiculous. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
So for the people on Instagram, really quick, that are just tuning in just to catch everybody up, Long Beach Brewing Company in Oceanside, New York, very close to Long Beach, is trying to open but is getting denied their permits because of parking issues, and they only have really like 1, maybe 2 chances to get this fixed. If there's anybody out there that's listening, watching, that can shine some light on what's going on, please either contact us and we'll forward it on to them, or contact them directly via any social media or website or email they can find. If anyone has a solution, something they've gone through before, please make it known that, what could possibly be done to get these guys back in the process and finished up so they can open.
I appreciate that. And your idea of having people come out, I mean,
I love it.
It sounds unreal to me because I can't imagine anybody coming out to picket.
I'm with you.
You'd be surprised, bro.
It's not just picketing. It's to show that there are actual people behind the support. It's not just, we have support and then we have signatures, but we need physical bodies there. In my opinion, that's what really changes the mind.
Go to rent that giant rat whenever they picket.
Yes, exactly. I would love that.
Wait, you mean the ones that are coming out of the building they just emptied next door?
Good one. Got him. Zing.
No, I'm joking.
Conjecture.
I'm just being mean.
Allegedly.
I'm just being mean. I'm hurt.
Of course.
I take it back.
No, you don't.
Look,
you shouldn't.
Hey, look. What happens? What happens when you wound a bear? He fights back, right? Well,
yeah.
Time to fight back, boys. And I know you're going to. So
that's the thing.
But we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it properly by all. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Follow the rules. We follow rules.
So, John,
that's what we've been doing.
Johnny Hands from Dubco said, Dan, Brett, just tell me when and where to be, and I'll be there.
That's our boy, Johnny.
Love you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny Farioli.
That's what I'm saying. You're gonna have the support of the brewing community.
Brewer in the country.
Yep.
Well, as he thinks, but we love Johnny anyway. John today.
So he says.
John today was sending me texts of he was fucking playing with fluff. And,
oh yeah, I saw that post.
And he goes,
potatoes
bro. He goes, I feel like I'm channeling you for what I'm doing here. I go, oh yeah, man. He goes, I got it on my legs. It's everywhere. I'm like, yep. That shit is so sticky. I said, but it's all worth it in the end.
It would probably be the worst if you had really bad leg hair.
I gotta ask you a question, Steve. How do you put fluff in a beer? Where does it go? Does it go in the mash?
Wouldn't you like to know?
The beer, not in your
beer. Oh, the beer.
It's part of the manscaping routine, and it's personal, Brett.
Yeah,
well,
it's how he manscapes.
Actually,
it's like waxing.
The key with fluff, it is. That shit gets sticky as all hell, bro. And you get it on the good areas.
It can take hair off, no problem.
My nipples have never been the same.
Raw and chafed. No more linen shirts for you.
You have both. You still have both of them?
Well,
the best.
I got
We're
one.
getting a little personal, Brett.
Oh, now we are. Yeah.
I got one in the oven, so it's okay.
You have a bun in the oven?
No, you jackass. So anyway, fluff. When I first started fucking around with marshmallows are no bueno. Marshmallows have gelatin in them
and oil,
and they just leave this viscous, looks like the blob behind. But
wait, can I say something that I've learned before you answer that? I want to throw it out there and see if I'm right, and you can bash me, and then you can whatever. What if you were to use powdered marshmallow? Is there a marshmallow powder or something of those flavors that could be a powder?
No gelatin.
No gelatin.
Fluff is basically sugar and vanilla. So the best thing about sugar and vanilla is, and when we used it for when we did our s'mores beer. And I actually took the fluff and I put it in a pot and caramelized it, just kept it on heat. And it basically turned like a light brown. And then we poured it right in the boil. But we didn't like the way the flavor came out. It was, for us, too subdued. So we did it again, and then this time we poured it right into the fermenter.
Wow. Nice.
During the boil?
After you heated it. Yeah, makes sense.
Boy, that must have been fun. That must have been fun pulling that shit out of the fermenter.
It actually totally became part of the beer. It actually
really,
besides the fermentation, it actually just liquefied.
Almost like cotton candy.
if you take exactly, man, that's a good
Okay.
Fluff is that same way. You pour liquid on it, it becomes
It's sugar.
It becomes
It's sugar.
liquid.
How about that?
Marshmallow will not. Marshmallow will leave this rubberized looking gelatin behind. And we threw a batch away because of that, because we fucked up.
Oh no.
Years ago I had used a lot of Godiva chocolate in a beer that I made.
Oh.
And this is on the home brewing level. I threw it into the boil. And then I passed it through
oil,
the
baby.
I
say a lot of
through
fat.
the heat exchanger. Guess what came out the other side of the heat exchanger?
Poop.
Butter.
Yeah.
Churning
bro.
butter over there. It was delicious butter.
Nice.
I made that mistake with salted caramel. I had somebody make me who actually did it on like a large version, made me salted caramel. Unbeknownst to me, for every cup was a stick of butter. So same thing.
That's a lot of fat.
Other end, here comes all this butter and then beer on the bottom, just like a complete. I'm like, well, that beer's no good, and let's start that one again.
And I just fucked up my heat exchanger. There goes my heat exchanger, goddammit.
Cleaning that forever.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about, like really industry secret stuff, let's talk about some of these beers. I know we went through a little bit of the Pilsner.
Thank you.
Tell us what is the newest tweak on the Ghost Wave, because Pete's right. This isn't what I've had before.
Better.
It is definitely better, and not that the other one was bad. This is now
that.
you're level up here. You're leveled up.
Go ahead,
Is the color darker too?
It's dialed in.
It seems malt. It looks more
ahead,
caramel in color than I remember, but that could be me.
The entire malt bill is exactly the same.
Okay.
Nothing's changed in the malt bill. The hops are the same hops. I just moved the hop scheduling around a little bit. And
later
in the editions, yeah. I just here's the issue with me. It's learning a new brew house that I've never, that I'm familiarizing myself with and becoming, attuned to.
Mm-hmm.
Taking my vision and the beers that I'm used to brewing and learning how to do them on a 10-barrel brew house where I really was always just used to brewing on a 1-barrel brew house. Now I have to scale everything up and fine-tune the system so I know how the system works, and then figuring out how my recipe works on that system.
And it's not linear, right? Just because you're brewing on something
No, it's not. It really isn't. And Steve, maybe you can understand. You understand what I'm going to say. It's a feel. You just have to. You learn the system. You know what your system does, and then you kind of feel it. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but that's what
we had this, for me. We had this very same thing when we went from a 1-barrel to our 7-barrel system. The first few brews were nothing like what we brewed before, even though we tried to do all the all the calculations. It's still, we weren't there. And like you said, it's once you got a feel for your brew house, then all of a sudden you're like, all right, yeah, I got this. And then you'll see brews after that. Or if you do another, like a brand new beer, you don't have to use that 1-barrel no more to do a little, like, oh, let's do a test batch. You know your system enough where you're like, I got this. I can do this, and boom, I'm going to get this out of it.
Exactly. It's just really becoming, it's learning a new tool. It's a tool. It's the tool you use.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of O tools, here's the next generation of O tools.
God, what are you up, Mac?
Hey.
Go to bed, Mac.
Yeah, really. This is
Hey, look, who's
Say hi
that?
to everybody.
Hi.
That's the
There
predecessor.
That's it. That's the next wave of media gold on the radio.
Oh, I thought you were going to say alcoholics.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
right.
no, it's true. It's true. He already tastes the foam of my beers. Every single thing, I give him a little touch of the foam. And
you got
my kids have to smell every beer I drink.
There up there.
Yeah. You know what the biggest thing that scares me is that, like, some of the most hoppiest, dankest beers that I've had, he likes the foam. Like, that's like, he's like, oh, that's good. I'm like,
There you go.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, you hoppy son of a bitch.
What do you think of our single malt, single hop?
I had never, ever had it. So this is first sip, first intonation. What would you say?
What I liked about it, he told me he had it, and he said he only bought one.
Yeah, I did a mix.
That's what I was going to say before. So between when Mike brought that, Mike went to the same beverage center I did on Friday, I didn't find it the next day.
Sold out.
Well,
Which
Mike,
was,
that's pretty fucked up.
I mean, both it's good news for you, but I was fucking annoyed because I wanted to try that fucking beer, and it was fucking sold out.
Because I've never had this. I've had the Ghost Wave. I've had the Pilsner. I've had Ocean Sized. But I've never had this. So I had to get this. This was like the thing that I was searching for. That, and I can always go back to Shipwreck, every day. But
well, it's in tank right now.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Interesting thing with your business. This is an interesting thing with your business situation. We as partners share everything beer related and life related. It seems like you guys don't have the same thing because your partner has one and you don't have one.
Well, I will say this: they didn't have many left. Again, like Pete said, good for you.
That's what I'm saying. For you, that's those good problems. The only I hadn't had it before. All they had was the Channel Keller at some guys.
Yep. And Pilsner in the cooler, if you ask nicely.
I've had I really wanted that goddamn Smash.
No, I mean they had the.
We have some at the brewery. On tap, and we can fill you crowlers of it.
There you go.
There we
That's
go.
for everybody to know.
There you go.
Of what?
Of the
What's my name? Skip?
single malt beer.
They fucking love you at some guys in Lyndhurst, by the way.
Oh my God, Mike and was it Jess? They just
Jessica.
Yes. They just can't get enough of you guys. They love you. So
I
I'll
love
give you
them
this
too.
quick story.
They've been very supportive.
I was in there, and Mike's walking me around. I got my mix 4. He grabbed me some other half that they just picked up. So I'm walking out with 2 4-packs. I was like, what else do you got that just came in? And a young girl, so get this, a young girl comes in, I'm going to say late 20s, and by young, I'm 40, so that to me is young. And she's walking around, and she's kind of asking Mike, what's same thing I was, what's new, what do we got? She had one thing in mind, which was the Ghost's newest kettle sour.
Okay.
So he showed her that, and then I said, well, I had all this Long Beach in my hand, and I said, listen, try this. We have them on the show. And she goes, show? And then Mike's like, oh, they got a show. And so right away, he's promoting our show with no reason to do so. So right away.
That's great.
And so I gave her a sticker, and she's like, awesome, I'm going to tune in tonight. I don't know if she tuned in tonight or not, but I'm keeping Instagram up, not Facebook.
Do you remember her name?
No, I didn't say my name and her name or anything. I just said, yeah, we have the guys from Long Beach. Check out.
Just two souls passing in the night.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
I said,
Two ships passing in the night.
Check out Ocean Sized if you like New England IPAs, or if you like the Waikiki wheat, great fruited sour wheat beer. I said, check all this out. These are your local people. You should really. And she was all about it. I think she walked out with one of the wheats, which I don't know how many they had. Yeah, I don't know how many.
Huiho, yeah.
Oh, Huiho, that's right. It's not Waikiki. What am I thinking of?
Waikiki's Dubco.
Yep.
Yes,
that's it. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry, John. I misrepresented
It's completely
Dubco's brand,
okay.
and I'm sorry, boys, I misrepresented your brand.
It's completely okay. Nothing but love and respect for them.
Yeah, of course.
I do have to come back, though, because when Mike told me about the single hop, Cashmere, the last year we were open, was my favorite fucking hop to use for several reasons. One, it stinks like weed, like nobody's business.
It does have a little danky taste to it. Yep.
The flavoring and the aroma you get from it in the beer, and you don't have to use a lot of it, was 2. And 3 was it was cheap. It was not as expensive as fucking Galaxy.
It's gone up in price.
Any of that crazy shit. And the price point was fucking great, and I loved Cashmere, and we used it in several beers. So when Mike said, "Oh yeah, I already got the 1 can of the cat," I was like,
mm-hmm.
What do you think of it, Mike?
Well, again, I'm not the. First of all, Johnny from Dubco just texted me or DM'd us saying wrong brewery with the Waikiki. Sorry, my bad. And he knows I had the beer in the cooler, but I'm probably not going to get to it tonight. I will, however, drink it, and I will, however, take pictures of it. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's got a little bit of dankness to it, but it's smooth. I enjoy it because it's not an over-the-top hop in your face.
The color, from what I could see, is it's got that nice golden.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
hue.
New York State, New York craft malt.
About
New York craft malt, pale malt.
Yeah.
Nice.
And not over-the-top
York
hoppy
craft
like people would expect. IPAs to be like boom, hit you in the face. Not at all compared to some others that are doing that over-the-top, whether it be really crazy levels of fruit or crazy levels of pine. This is very smooth, and the malt build behind it, I think, supports it. So, give me the rundown on this. What malt are you using?
Yeah,
and because it's single hop, single malt, right?
It's single hop, single malt, and it's New York craft malt. They're pale malt.
Oh, the pale.
And,
okay.
It's all pale malt. New York State 2-row pale malt from New York craft malt. We've been exclusively using all of their malts for the base of all of our recipes, and we use some of their specialty malts as well.
Okay.
We obviously our German style beers. We've been trying to use some German specialty malts to give the authenticity and the flavors, but New York craft malt. We've been working with them a lot, and we really, really love the product that they put out. And
I'll ask this like we normally ask: is it hard to keep up with the ratios for the farm license at this point?
Well, we're not at that point yet where I could tell you yes.
Okay. So really, I mean, you're working in smaller, batches where it's easier to comply with the state regulations.
At this point, for us, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the great thing about this is like, I'm a big IPA fan, and Dan is growing. It's amazing because Dan makes the beers.
I'm growing to love him,
and I'm like his IPA coach. And and like
I have a hard time with IPAs.
We came up with the single hop series, and like we're going to concentrate on just of course it's marketing. But it's also like we want to make a beer that, like the cashmere, you're only tasting cashmere.
Yep.
And you're tasting everything about cashmere. And the two next hops we use, we're still discussing them. They're not hops that people are used to. But they're going to get educated on those hops. And Dan came up with the ideas. After we come up with our 3 series, we're going to put them all together. So you taste all those 3, and then we put them all together. And then like, oh shit! Wow, look at this, and now it's it's
kind of like.
So are you doing the same malt bill for each one of those single hop
series? Same malt bill on every beer. Same malt bill.
I mean, it's
and kind of like.
It's not a new idea.
It's kind of what Let Me Take You There is supposed to be about.
Works.
What? Right. What Let Me Take You There was all about was let me take you there. Let me show you the experience of this one hop. So after we're done with our 3 single hop series, we want to do all 3 hops combined, make a beer, and possibly, now you're there. We took you there. Here you are.
See, but the back of this is that it's cashmere. So we were looking for the right name because Zeppelin, cashmere, blah blah blah. Every other name, and Dan found the only name that wasn't taken was Let Me Take You There to use cashmere. So, and if you look at the label in there, Mikey.
Yeah, there, Mikey. It's got the same font for cashmere.
And that little that is John Bonham's. We used our logo to make John Bonham's Zoso label.
Oh yeah, it's buried inside, so you could. I'll try to get as close as I can. See it in there. There it is.
So I did this whole thing, a little Zeppelin jam, and next, we're Dan and I are deliberating over the hops for the next couple, because we want to make there's all these great hops out there that people don't know about.
Really quick on Instagram, Jenna Lynn is checking in. Jenna Lynn says, ocean size.
That's my girlfriend.
Yeah. Heart-shaped emoji. She also says, how clever with those labels. So, and then laughy face emoji.
Well, that's insider info. We got an insider in there.
I like to break down the walls a little bit, just show people what's going on in the background. But I was able to.
She's in the other room. She's right on the other side of that wall.
That's fine. Contribute to the show. It's all good. That's how we get content. That's the way to do it.
Take a leak.
Oh, there's Steven. So to give you my wrap up, for the most part, great mouthfeel. It's smooth. It's clean. It's got a little bit of that, like I said, dankness to it, just enough not to overpower you. You're not gonna go crazy with like a Sweetwater 420 kind of level dankness. It's smooth, and whatever you're using in that malt build really kind of balances it out. I know you said you have a concept for the next two hops. Can you give us anything about what those next two hops could be? Give us like a multiple choice or word bank.
We're going to surprise you because Dan's really particular about we want to do, because Cashmere is not a common hop.
Right.
It's kind of
it's not a noble hop.
Right.
Right, exactly. So we're looking for all these hops that are not common. You don't get them in beers, and we're going to put them in the next hop series, because it's very important to us to because you've tasted Cascade, you've tasted all these other ones. So we're looking for ones are gonna and they have a good name too, so we can make a great label.
It's not necessarily that you've never had them in beers, but they've never been showcased in a beer.
Good point.
That's really more what we're trying to say with it. And we're just having some fun, man. Everybody does their thing. If you know Long Beach Brewing Company, our whole motto is, we make classic beer styles.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make the this is perfect, Steve. I'm going to use you. Steve did his thing where he had his yada, 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 and everybody, that's what Steve does. He does those crazy cool beers. And we do classic style beers. That's what we do, and that's what made it so cool, because he does what he did and we do what we do. And that's how you have your variety, man.
Yeah, it gives you your thumbprint.
Everybody has their little niche that they like to fit into. And that was always a big thing for me with craft brewing, was even if I gave you a recipe of mine, here it is. You would interpret.
I'm never going to brew it like you. Exactly.
You would interpret it your way, the way you wanted that beer to be, and it would come out different, even though it was the same ingredients. And that's the coolest part about it. Everybody's interpretation on the way something should taste, because everybody's taste buds are different. What tastes good to you might not taste good to me. And what tastes good to me might not taste good to you. And that's the greatest thing about craft beer.
Well, that's what I tell everybody.
What I love about it.
I mean, we got Pete. We can't get Pete to drink fucking sour beers if we have to hold him down and pour it down his throat.
That's correct. That's correct.
Really quick, two comments are coming in.
Take 'em all.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying?
No. I'm like, and you'll take all the sour beers.
Fuck yeah, give me all the sours right now. It's just the way my palate has been to running. Really quick, our buddies over at 90 Second Beer Review, a couple of local guys doing great stuff online, not bashing anybody, does really reasonable reviews, and I'll put it that way because every time people hear review, they're like, here we go, another Yelp review. They're not like that. Good dudes. We had them on the show. They claim that I just gave a 90-second beer review of Let Me Take You There. So that was pretty funny. And then John from Dubco just came in and said, keep doing what you guys do. Keep doing you. And keep fucking nailing those classic beer styles. So there you go.
Yeah.
Love you, John.
Sours all day, everybody. Sours all day. That's what he says, too. But you're right. I love. You know what? It's the evolution of the way the industry has gone. Sours weren't a thing. 2 years ago, and then they hit the scene, and I'm going, what is this? And I didn't like it at first, but then sour IPAs came out, and double IPA sours came out, and then the fruited sours. I'm like, nah, I could pass on those. Even from Trillium, one of my favorite breweries, doing great stuff. Even that. the Berliner Weiss fruited stuff is a lot of fruit. So I like it toned back a little bit. I like just like a classic style, and give me a little bit of that sour pH drop, and I'm good to go.
I haven't done a sour yet.
Is it tough? Is it something
That's
agonizing?
okay.
Shh, Pete.
It's something I've been agonizing over.
I just had one from Groundlands.
Well, there you go. John's been DMing. Reach out to John. Do a collab over at Dubco one day with those guys.
Oh yeah.
On a simple sour, a Long Beach simple sour type of deal. Can it up.
I would love to do anything with John.
And I'll tell you this: our buddy over at West Babylon Superstar will definitely carry anything you do. I mean, he is an absolute.
Yes.
He is an advocate for craft beer across the entire island. He does his.
He's been really, really, really awesome to us, and I appreciate it.
One of those guys here in the local scene that if you know him, you know him, and he gets on and does his weekly or even like couple of times a week pour and talks about it and just gives people like an idea of what you can do. Excuse me, you can do to like kind of break into this craft beer scene, and he's educating people in a way, which is great. We need more like that. And
I've been telling him.
Sorry, go ahead.
I've been telling him for a long time that like I wish every beer distributor did what he does. He's just very dedicated to the craft, and I just think he's as a someone that's running a business. You're doing it right, man. Yeah. Like you're sampling your products. You're telling your customers what you like, not necessarily like this is the greatest, this isn't the greatest. You're just saying, hey, I like this. Like, I'm the guy that's selling you the beer.
Right. And if I'm on that same level, expect that when you come into my establishment, this is what I like.
I've had it.
Yeah, I've had it. And firsthand experience.
John said he's down, boys. He's down.
John is down for a collab at Dubco. So you tell me what you guys want. Do you want to do a sour double IPA? I will buy the shit out of that.
I have all the ingredients to make a sour ready to rock and roll. I just haven't committed to it yet.
We have it.
Listen, anyone can take a reservation. It's the holding of the reservation that really matters.
So here's the thing. So you haven't made it a sour yet, right?
I haven't. I haven't committed to it.
Okay, so the collab is a great way to pick someone else's brain before you do your own and have the grain, which I have done, is to do a collab. And I want to be there when this collab happens because I'm fucking getting this all together and I want to reap the benefits of drinking it.
Yeah, exactly.
And
everybody benefits.
I actually owe John like to hang out and drink with him because he's been asking and I just haven't had the time. So
it's a good excuse for all of us to get out of the house.
Sounds perfect. And like the Wort could show up and we can make like a big fucking to do. Come on, boys.
Perfect. Like the funny thing is, we're talking about it though. Is like
John's laughing his ass off right now. I'm watching it. It's got live feed. He's laughing. He's like, yes.
But like the making a sour is not easy. Like we were talking about, Dan was telling me like there's the open.
That's why I'm saying Dubco has done how many sours?
So many.
Pretty awesome, if I have to say.
The best.
I was up at Drownlands, and the guy who's a brewer up there, he's like, I used to do it in the mash and do the 24-hour thing.
Yep.
How he sours in the fermenter, and Drownlands is doing some fucking serious shit. I don't know if you have had any of their stuff.
I have not, but I've definitely been. They're on the radar as a sour lover.
The guy up there, like they're doing good stuff up there, very good stuff. And I spoke to him, and he is like they've got folders, they've got all this, they got everything going on. You know what? That's the big difference. Oh, I gotta say this now.
Jenna Lynn is saying, "Do it,
get it, Brett."
In Warwick, there's this boys' school that closed down, so they got all these big brick buildings, right? And they were begging. So Drownlands, and I'm not knocking them because this is great for them. They got hundreds of thousands of dollars in grants.
Nice.
And we are in Oceanside, not asking for a penny. And we just want to get open. Like why is it in the same state? In the same state, we got these guys up here they're begging them to open it, and these guys down here, they don't give a shit.
It's the politics of the area. It's the
It
level of population too, because you have such a back and forth of people just trying to set their mark in the town, in the place. Up there, it's such a slower pace of life in general that you can kind of do what you got to do, and that's why there are a lot of breweries in upstate New York and beyond that
beautiful.
Have,
they're all beautiful. They're all beautiful.
They are. I mean, I make a point to try to stay within the state to do my beer tours and stuff like that. Excuse me. But I found, such a different atmosphere in the tension and the need and even in pandemic times to find that everyone's like, cool, man, we're gonna do our thing, and everyone supports us. And it's just unfortunately such a
there you go, Danny.
Ocean-sized. We have such a tremendous amount of pressure on us down here in every industry, not just beer.
Long Island's a whole different world.
It is.
Like I for my day job, I travel all over the country. I used to travel over the country, and wherever I'd go, I'd call the local brewers, and they'd be like, "Hey, come on down, whatever, blah blah." And here, everybody's so trying to get their stuff going. It's a little, everybody's got their thing going. And
you know what it is? Because you're a local guy, and everybody, and I've done it. Yeah, I'm gonna see you soon. You're local. You're right, fucking rare. But if somebody's out of state or from far away, like, you will go that extra day. Yeah, buddy, come on in. Yeah, that's so cool. But the guy that's right down the block from me, like, I'm gonna fucking see you.
Shut the fuck up. Call me tomorrow. Get out of here.
You might not remember this, Steve. You might not remember this. I was in your place a couple of years ago.
I don't remember.
You were very welcoming. You got your son was cool, and then you showed up. Everybody was great,
and everything went to shit.
No. I'm just saying there.
No, I mean to Steve. Steve showed up, and everything went to shit.
And everything went to fucking hell, man.
That's how it goes.
That is.
But there are other, I hate to say it, but there are other places on. I'm not naming any of them. They're not as accepting. They're not as open. They're not as on Long Island. It's a strange thing. It's really.
It's funny you say that because there's that old saying.
It might be us. It might be us.
No, you guys are so personable and so easy to hang out with. I mean, for the years that we've spent with you over the. Are you? You know what it is? You're probably too Long Island.
Now, Dan, was it you? Was it Brett? Was it? Come on now.
We know it wasn't Pat. Pat's soft-spoken. He doesn't offend anybody. He knows his air traffic control. He knows how to handle everything. Crisis situations.
But Steve, what do you think, Steve? Give it. What do you think?
Well, there's that saying that the beer industry is 90%, 98% dick-free, asshole-free.
Mm-hmm.
Not a little further, but it's funny you say that. When I opened up, there was a handful or two handfuls of breweries on the island.
Yeah.
I was early on, and so I had a lot of guys that wanted open breweries come to me, and there was maybe one that I was a dick to because they were really dicks to me and they never opened. So fuck them. But everybody else, I was just kind of like, hey, look, man, as long as you make good beer, because for me, and I still feel this way, because what we do, we do this radio show. I want Long Island. I would love Long Island to be a destination.
A united whole.
I would love people from out of state to go, fuck, we got to go to Long Island because, like people say,
kind of like that Oregon scene.
Yeah.
They got to go to Denver. They got to go to Boston. They got to go to the fucking, Oregon. They got
North Kakalaka. Virginia.
Places. They got to go to fucking Vermont.
Maine.
Yeah, people come into our place saying that thing. They're coming into our place.
You know, right now it's
Great.
New York City or Brooklyn-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But
expand your
there is
horizons
right
and
now,
come
I
out
don't-
here.
As of last week, there's over 50 breweries on fucking Long Island.
Crazy.
Not in the city, and on Long Island. That's
Yeah.
a lot of breweries for an island.
Hell yeah.
And going and tying this all in, there's been a new brewery that opened in Nassau County. And
It didn't
besides
open
Bright Eye, there's a new was it Lost Farmer?
No, it didn't. It did not even close yet.
They're not open
Oh
yet.
yeah, no.
But they're on their way. And so again,
But again,
another
it's another brewery.
Right, another brewery that more than likely will just pass right through based on their town. And this is what I'm saying, like 3 years of experience of you guys putting out great beer into the community, putting out great stuff to all the patrons, and they're trying to fucking hold you back. And that's fucking bullshit. It pisses me off. Besides the fact that your girlfriend is totally pissed off that you took the last Oceanside stand. She's very upset. Very upset that you took the
I
last.
saved mine for my wife.
And-
Smart man.
Smart.
There's a little swill in the can if she wants it.
A little backwash. You can.
But that sounds weird, doesn't it?
John,
Little bit.
Little
bit.
in the can.
John,
I gotta tell
Dubco just said he
this
will.
match-
John
this-
will impart any knowledge that he can, sour-wise, to you guys. Not a problem. He's all about helping you guys out. So,
Hey, we'll take anything from Johnny.
and the thing is, that's the way it should be throughout the brewing industry, especially.
It is, man.
Correct.
I know I pass shit on to people. People have given me stuff. You know, when I first started, my first system I built off of because the Rocky Point Artisan and Barrier had the same type of system, and that's how I started. And then I went from there and then did my own thing. And you know, you guys are been here for a few years now, making a name for yourself, especially
Thank you.
in your area, and that's the cool thing. I hear like people like mention your shit, like, oh, Long Beach, yeah, that's great stuff, and that's in Nassau County, and I'm a Nassau County guy, so
thank you.
For you to be in the county to be recognized as a good brewery, which you should take that you are,
And there's only a handful of breweries in Nassau County, so to be in that top realm of those breweries is definitely
and
a.
Mike,
But we're happy. We're happy that we're
Mike,
happy.
we've had the bad of Nassau County.
We have had the bad of Nassau County. That is correct.
So-
What's the bad? Is there a bad? What's the bad?
Nope.
Oh,
Mm-mm. No, the views of the Wort do not express any of those 90-second beer review based things. I'm just kidding. 90-second. I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't know.
Promise.
I don't know what you guys think, but like Garvey's Point's great.
Yes.
Up South Shore, we love Bright Eye. We love Barrier, and like that's the thing that we want to have this thing because like we have a really special thing, and that's another thing that we're trying to tell the zoning board is Barrier's here, South Shore's here, Bright Eye's down here, and we're right in the middle, and this could open up tourism.
And the other thing
who
is,
talks about tourism in Oceanside? No one talks about tourism in Oceanside.
Come to beautiful Oceanside.
have those breweries had any incidents where drunken people have gotten crushed by trucks?
Nope.
Or anything?
I've heard zero people
Yes,
get
but we don't
drunk
report
and
on
crashed
those.
by a trucks.
Yes, you don't. And you know
Yeah.
what? There's been worse things that have happened in Lyndhurst
Oh yeah.
in a parking lot, and still everything's fine. No,
Vineyard
it's fine.
48.
Over there, right?
He'll mention.
Vineyard 48 out east.
Yes.
Well, that was the lawyer.
There's
That
worse
was,
things that happened there.
Yes, correct.
that was the lawyer of the shitballs that moved out next door. He said this is what was crazy because the zoning board said, look, you can't govern the parking because he was complaining that we would take up all the parking on the street. Can't govern the parking. So what's the real reason? The real reason he said was because there'll be drunk people wandering out onto Lawson Boulevard getting run over.
Yeah. Okay.
And we're like, are you kidding me? Like, when have you ever heard like drunk people walking out into traffic?
What is this, 1920, where there's horse and buggies, and they're like, I gotta get this guy out of the saloon.
Have you guys were you guys approached at all by SLA about the tips system?
No, what's that?
Not at all.
So tips, and it doesn't mean you get money.
Ooh, Steve, can I talk about this? Because I've taken the tips course.
You're a bartender.
I was a 20-year bartender, 3 years retired, 2 years retired, really. So I worked for a company, a major national company, as a bartender, part-time, and one of their requirements was to take the tips classes. And so this is a training course to acknowledge how people come into your bar, could appear drunk, could appear intoxicated, and then your right to not serve them. So when SLA does show up and they ask for the bartender's tip certification, which is a very easy thing to get. It's a one-day course, or online at this point, yet in the pandemic, that you can watch videos and take tests and take questions. It's an extremely easy thing to get, and it actually is. I was so adamant about not wanting to go to it, but I was forced to. And I was like, I know when someone walks in drunk that I'm not supposed to serve them. I get it. But when you watch these videos, it actually turns you on to some different things that you're not really looking for. Like people who are high as shit.
Yes.
And then you don't want to serve them to then complicate the situation. So I went through this whole tips training with this national company. Very, very, listen, everyone knows this company. I'll say it. It's the Marriott. So the Marriott.
I have friends that work at for the Marriott, so I get it.
They are very adamant about keeping everybody on staff completely trained, and which is great, because after I took it, I went, wow.
It's smart.
It's so fucking smart.
Well, guess what?
Well, wait, I'll tell you the very quick story. Because I was tip trained, there was a, let's say, class reunion of a certain district here on Long Island, and this woman walks in, and obviously completely under the influence, not of alcohol, completely hammered. I was warned by multiple people before she showed up. When she came in, completely plastered, and I refused to serve her. And the reaction was she took an empty wine glass and smashed it on a marble bar at me, and glass shattered at me and in my face. Yep.
I'm not supposed to laugh at this.
No, you're not.
But you liked it, you son of a bitch.
Laughed at your.
I didn't get any in my eyes, thank God. Nothing in my face, but the entire bar was ruined, in the ice, everywhere. I was immediately removed from the situation. Someone came in and cleaned everything up. I had to give a full report. Police came, all that other good stuff. And it was a situation, but I was completely then not liable, as well as the establishment.
You handled it professionally,
because
man.
I said, I'm sorry, I can't serve
All that
you.
trouble could have been avoided if you just given her those 7 vodka shots.
No,
always have to be professional.
It was red wine. It wasn't even like high-end alcohol. It was like she wanted a Cabernet, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the video. I'll send you the video.
We're obsessed. Listen, we're obsessed with it. Like one of our things too is we're training. If bartenders come in, we're going to train them on all sorts of things like that, because I was a bartender as well. Dan owns a pizza place. He understands. That is sounds like a really valuable tool.
All you have to do is go on New York State tips, T.I.P.S.
The acronym, yeah.
And the thing with it too is your insurance
will cover
once you open up your tasting room goes down.
Yep,
which
100%.
Which never happens when you own a brewery. It always goes up. But once you're tip certified, every one of your employees.
Great. Sounds great. It sounds great. Because another thing we're going to do, and like Dan and I spoke about this, and I have a lot of friends who owns bars in the city, and that's kind of the way we're surviving too, is we're selling in the city, is he has the bartenders take a Cicerone course.
Yes.
The lowest level system course. So this is the thing. So I love hearing this, because we want to train whoever works there, train them as best as they can for every situation. This is great. Thank you. Thank you.
It's just a great thing to have, both just as a backup to anything that potentially could happen, and of course, just to educate your bartenders, because as much as they could be already tip certified, it covers your ass. It's a CYA all up and down the line, and
fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Yo,
it.
guys, we were talking. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
No, go
we
ahead.
were talking earlier about Untapped and how funny it is.
Fuck it.
So wait, I just clicked on it because I just, for shits and giggles, I wanted to see what was up there. So somebody just rated one of our beers, and they
Ooh.
put a picture of the beer they rated.
just now,
But they
like
rated
within
a
the last
complete-
few minutes.
They rated a completely different beer. I don't know if you could read that.
That's a Channel Keller,
Well, it's a picture of the Channel Keller,
right?
But it's a
but
different.
it's rated as our wheat beer.
There you go.
Very wheatish.
This is going well.
Okay. It's our.
That's why I hate it. That's why I hate it, because
It just proved
West
your
End
point,
wheat.
Steve. It proved your point.
they just
I mean, I
rated-
gotta side with them. Channel Keller would make a 3-star West End weed. I mean,
Hey,
let's be fair here.
hold on. Was it a 3-star? Did he give me a 2-star? Because it was.
It's almost a 3-star. I was trying to be generous.
trying to be generous, but
It's too funny, man.
Channel
It's too
Brewery.
funny. A 2.75 because he rated a Vienna lager as a wheat beer.
But you know what the best part of this
That makes
is?
a lot of sense.
But you know what this is, the other thing is? Dan, you got to tell the story, because now beverage centers are rating whether to carry beers because of
Your Untapped rating.
Yes.
Ugh.
but it originally started out with, what did it start out with? Beer Advocate, the BA rating,
Yes.
well,
Right.
which was the douchebags of rating
as
beer.
far as the got. It's like
It's the guys that are like, I'm the snob,
right.
but
Well,
these
how
were
dare
people
you?
that really were into beer. So
Right.
if it got a 98 or
Valid.
something like that, it deserved it. Fucking beer, freaking Untapped.
It's Yelp.
any
It's Yelp.
It's the Yelp of beer, man.
Yeah,
bro, it
pretty
is,
much,
and
yep.
it's so sad because I have so many friends that own restaurants and hate Yelp as much as I hate Untapped. So
I have a restaurant and I have a brewery. And it's so funny when sometimes the customer you had an argument with because they were completely fucking wrong
oh yeah,
goes on Yelp and it's like, I'm going to fucking prove to you why you suck. And they go on there and they're
well,
like,
either
"He's a
Karen
douchebag."
or Linda.
Yes.
So it's
Karens and Chads.
Dude, you don't even know, man. You don't even know. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, welcome to social fucking media.
Which is
Social.
the downfall
It's okay though.
of our
It's
society.
okay though.
It's a
Because
curse and it's a
honestly,
blessing.
Brett always asks me, why do you even check Untapped?
Why do you do that to yourself?
Why do you do it to yourself? And my answer is one answer. Because I want to know where they bought the beer.
Oh, good point. Yeah, that's good.
back when we first opened up and when Dubco first opened up, both of us, both breweries were obsessed with Untapped, and the littlest deviation that we would find would upset us
Right.
so much that we would actually text each other and be like, "Do you see that prick? That fuck!" And it got to the point where I finally had to say, "Oh, I can't do this anymore," because we would, both breweries, we would fight with people online. We would
I'll never do that.
Scumbag, come back in. You want to come in? You know, we would like physically want to beat these people.
Welcome to the Channel Keller, my
There
Guess
it
what?
is.
We don't do it. We don't do it. I know I don't. Well, I don't have to do.
I would
anything.
never listen. I'm okay. I'm okay with people having their opinion. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Without a doubt. But
And-
when like you, yeah,
But
I don't
be
like
real
IPA.
about your opinion.
I don't
Yes.
like IPA, so I'm
Yes.
going to give it a quarter star. No, just don't rate it. Don't rate it.
Thank
Check
you.
it in. Check
You're
it in.
doing a disservice to the brewery.
Rate it, man.
If that's not the style of beer you like and you're going to rate it,
Right.
don't.
It's like ordering peanut butter porter without liking peanut butter in the first place. What the fuck are you doing?
Who doesn't like?
It's like you don't like porter, but you like peanut butter, so you'll rate the peanut butter flavor, but not the porter flavor.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. I go to a restaurant. Me personally, I cannot eat mushrooms. That's like me ordering.
See, and I can eat
chicken
all the
marsala.
mushrooms in the world.
Like ordering chicken marsala with extra
We
onion
know. We know.
and give it in a bad rating.
Right. You don't order the chicken masala because you know it has mushrooms.
Thank you.
Or you're
But on a
stupid enough to
positive-
order it thinking that there's
I
no
like-
mushrooms in it.
I like to see the different styles of can stackage between the two of you. Like you're building your architectural.
Actually,
now I have to have another beer just so I can start.
As the big bad wolf, I'd say Mike's structure would stand taller than Pete's.
Yes,
my structure. I surround my laptop with them.
He's got them all around
So
there.
I got them around the back of my laptop. So
I like to have them so
Mine
they're
is-
visible in the
I
camera.
admire-
I'm amazed it hasn't fallen already.
Listen, look, as my half Jewish side, I admire your chutzpah. You're just going to keep going.
Excuse me 1 second, boys.
I think the best time it collapsed on me was during the Graz incident.
Oh, that's right. It did.
and
you
you
had
got beer all over the place,
you
didn't you?
did. You got
Back to
shit
Graz.
everywhere.
I
And that
had a lot.
that should have been
And
the
then I
calling
had to try
card.
and talk someone off the ledge after the Graz incident.
Wait, that was me?
It didn't go well.
I
No, it was.
Oh,
guest.
right. The guest.
And what
that we
the
had.
best thing is, all of a sudden, on our feed, it says Anthony Graziano is watching us now.
He's always watching us.
Oh,
And you know what?
Graz.
We're going to say this on our last episode that we filmed live at Hopscotch in Deer Park, Long Island, one of the best bottle shops here on Long Island.
Yes.
Yes.
We recommended
Hands
Mark
down.
definitely
They're great.
supplies the local public with some Long Beach Brewing Company beer. We actually released Graz. That's why I've taken this shirt down from its normal spot.
We did release him for a day.
We let him talk openly, and unfortunately, Anthony Graziday ruined that opportunity by being completely hammered before he got on the air. And he wasn't terrible, but it was like almost inaudible language and
He was
conversation.
incoherent.
Oh,
He
he
was
was so wasted, and he admitted to it on the show, on his show on Thursday night, right here on GovsRadio.com, and that ended up not being a good show and got him in a lot of trouble for what he did then as a result. So he, you know what, karma's a bitch. So when you fuck with a show and you fuck with somebody's good times, go ahead, Pete, you got it, Jenga. Oh, he did it. When you fuck
That's
with
gonna
someone,
last like 2 minutes max.
it's leaning already. I can see it. When
What's
you,
the rest? Your desk or a separate thing?
Yeah.
There's Channel Keller.
no. He's saying, is it
What-
attached
oh, it's
to
on the
what you're
desk.
leaning
Yeah.
on? Is it
my
on the
desk.
same structure that you're leaning on?
Well, now I'm not leaning on that same structure.
Right. I see you pulled back a little bit, but I mean, if you were
One,
to
two,
lean
three,
down,
4, 5. Wow.
yeah, he did a good job tonight.
I'm impressed.
Accurate.
I'm 3 deep and I'm dizzy.
This is number 4. I think what helped this time is I have 2 full beers at the bottom. And then these are the ones that are visible is what I actually drank.
Okay, so you did
So
4.
you're 4 deep. All right.
I got 4
Yeah.
here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 3 deep and I'm just like,
Yeah, but Mike, yours is nicely built. You're
Yes. I've gotten good at creating the structure so it's visible on camera.
this is the one that kicked my ass. 8%.
And so that's the one that I it's the last one in my cooler over here.
Why we're partners.
Yeah, there you go. And it's the one that we all.
I just got punched in the face by this one.
Yeah, because you took the last one. See, there it is. It's there. I promise you, it's here. Oh,
There
all the
you
way.
go. There you go.
And it's the one that unfortunately I drank the minute I bought it at some
But I
guys.
gave you 2 of those today.
You did, and I listen. I drank all these first, and then I'll drink that at the end. But I can attest to Ocean Size. Let me get to that before we have to get off the air because we're going to get kicked off the air in about let's say 6 minutes.
Yep.
Really quick, Ocean Size has taken a huge step in the market. Tell me about what you guys have done to tweak that
Wow,
beer
thank you.
and gotten to that level because that is the one that's getting the most hype in the industry, in the distributors.
And
It's got some really nice ratings on Untapped.
There you go. What is it? What have you done to that beer over the course of the years to get it to where it is now?
Mike, thank you. I don't even know what to say about that. It's a new recipe. I knew we had to have a New England style IPA.
I like
and by the way, just to clear up things, it's not your typical over-the-top juice bomb.
No.
It is your malt-forward New England IPA.
Well, I think the best compliment I got by somebody I really respect, which is John Green. He said John Green is the canning man for Maltman Canning.
Yep.
And he's Yoda. He is Yoda.
We call him Yoda in our home.
For you know what I called him for the longest time?
John Green.
No, he fucking like the first time couple times I met him, came to our place. I'm just kept looking at him, and he's like, "What are you looking at?" I'm like, "Bro, you look like you look like an actor."
Oh,
and he's like,
oh, this is a whole. This is
he's
different.
like, don't. No, he's like, don't say it. I'm like,
Travolta.
You know what I'm gonna say? He's like, I think I know what you're gonna say.
Seth Rogen.
You're close. You're getting close. Who is the little douche that played in like
douche?
You gotta like clarify that this guy's not a douche. Obviously,
so beyond not.
By any means, he's the fucking greatest guy, man.
The biggest teddy bear on the planet.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And every time they would come to the brewery, we'd have a great.
No,
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Oh my God! Yeah. I get it.
Every fucking time.
I win.
He's like,
I'm not buying Jonah.
He's like,
I'm not buying it.
I don't see it.
We call him Yoda. And the biggest compliment I ever got to me personally has been him telling me that I created balance in a style that has no balance.
Oh, it has none. It's either one. It's totally one end.
And that has stuck with me and meant a lot to me personally.
And we have
from him.
A lot about him because this is a guy who's undersung in the industry. So he's working for Maltman. He brewed for Flying Belgian.
Mm-hmm.
The guy he knows everything, and he's just the nicest guy in the world. And he will tell us he's younger than us. He's probably 50 years younger than us. He can tell us everything we need to know about the industry.
Are you using yeast from him?
What's that?
We do from time to time, yes. From time to time.
He props up some really good yeast, man.
Good news, just really quick, because we're going to keep going here. We got until 10:30 now.
Yeah. When his schedule coincides and he's available, I will ask him to do me when he can. Get me something if I really need it. But we've been experiencing some really great results. I'm going to give an industry secret. With using some dry yeasts, and we've been really happy with the results we've been getting.
Yeah, and
actually,
that might attest to the taste profile that's changed over time here.
A lot cheaper to use dry yeast. Store it. You can store it fucking for a lot longer than you can liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can you take that dry yeast and turn it into liquid? Can you use a centrifuge and really
yes.
condense
No,
it
you
down?
don't have to centrifuge. You just harvest it and reuse it.
Right.
Yeah. You can just harvest it right from your cone and just reprop it. I mean, put it right in the next batch. If you time it correctly, you could pull from one cone and put right into the next batch you're putting in, and you're good to go.
Right.
And it's efficient. It's really efficient.
Yes.
It's really
the amount of money you save reusing yeast. I remember I was at Blue Point, and I'm hanging out with a bunch of the guys.
Before you say any further, really quick, our next live location show will be at Blue Point.
I thought you were going to say Steve.
Very nice.
Cool. Steve is going to be the head brewer at Blue Point.
just to
Congratulations,
settle,
by the way,
Yeah.
Steve, on that
Right,
position.
I told you, bro.
Oh, God, I couldn't resist.
To settle all rumors, Steve is
I've heard about
absolutely
that.
going to be the brewer at
Congratulations,
Blue
Steve.
Point Brewery. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
man. You know what?
You might as well.
I got to address this now. I'm going to address it. Who the fuck is making up rumors that I'm all over the fucking place?
Dude, that's my favorite rumor.
It
Guess
is.
what?
What are you doing?
I'm Steve of the Wort with Mike Pete and Steve. I did own a brewery.
Not so easy, huh? Is it, asshole? See, I told you it's not so easy. Constantly have to add that third person. It's not easy.
No, it's not. Now I know why.
I told you.
Who gets left out, Pete or Steve?
Yeah,
Or Mike?
all of them.
It's always Steve gets left out, but
It
I
is.
make fun of it
Because
I
Pete and I were doing the show for like 2.5 years before Steve got in,
Mike
and
and
now
Pete.
I have to add that name in. So when I do my, entrance and the start of the show, or even end of the show after I've had way too many beers,
It's usually the end.
it usually is the end. You're right.
Because
I'm just so Pavlov's dog that
I
I
have
just
one
go
question.
Mike and Pete. That's
One
it.
question. My vision is blurry. Is that okay?
That's good. The screen is
That
clear.
means you're doing it right.
That's a good show. That's a good show right there.
Sorry, Steve, you were going to say you're just squashing the rumors.
Whatever. Yeah, there's been a
So
lot of.
starting next Monday, you're going to be brewing at Blue Point Brewing.
No. I'm
Pastry
getting-
stout line.
I'm actually taking over for fucking Sam Adams.
Yes.
I'm gonna Sam Adams.
He's going to be doing the new commercials. Hi,
gonna be doing the new
I'm
commercials.
I'm Steve Faminsky, and I'm with Sam Adams Brewery.
Yeah.
Now, there's been crazy rumors going around that I'm either the new head brewer at Blue Point, or that Blue Point is doing all of Barage's old fucking recipes. And then there's I've opened another brewery under a different name.
In Peconic.
Can we go there this weekend?
What happened? Where did that
These are
come
good
from?
conspiracy theories. Like these
Yeah.
are
Seriously, where did that come from?
It's all
They're
about
about-
the drama
they're
on
about-
social media. That's what it is.
You know what? All I can think of, all I can
Exactly.
think of, and I hope this is what it is, and I feel really happy about it. If it is, that people just wish.
Yes. I know
Yeah.
that's what it
Wishful
is.
thinking.
When you said, "Oh, I want to make," I'm going to release some of my recipes to some of these other breweries. All I could think of was like, "Oh, I hope Lions, Tigers, and Bears is one of them." I'd love to fucking have that again.
Listen, Steve. Like seriously, like Dan and I are always like, we our doors are always open. Come on down. We'll
But
do
there's
whatever.
no fucking parking. I can't find any parking.
And if I do, I can't walk like 15 blocks, according to your.
Brett, I would love to show up, but there's no parking anywhere. From when
How
I
could you-
Allegedly,
Not only
according
that,
to the town.
He's going to show up there drunk. How is he going to avoid all of the trucks?
Yes, that
Like
might
he's just going to get run over by a truck in his drunken stupor.
Yes.
My God, so irresponsible.
You know what the best part of this whole bullshit was like when they had their trucks blocking Lawson Boulevard and their whole fucking shit that place. They didn't have anybody doing
No flagman.
legally doing this shit. And
Guess what? We have a flagman. We have Pat Harton, and he's an air traffic controller.
There you go.
Anyone's qualified.
Love it.
Anyone's
He
qualified.
deals with a lot bigger things than a freaking Max Semi. Get out of here.
If it's good enough for Sully Sullenberger,
Dude. And he should just show up with Sully. That's what
have
he
you
should
thought
do.
about having Sully do a PSA?
You want to call in a favor. That's the
That is
favor to call
crazy.
in.
I want Sully to go, this is what everybody should drink.
That's
And
That's
you're
it.
stopping us from getting it.
Done. We're done.
Do you guys understand who that person is? That's fucking Sully Sullenberg. You
They-
don't
yeah.
fuck with him.
Sully,
Like-
Look, if he can make time in his schedule to do a Joe Biden ad, I think he can make time in his schedule.
Exactly. He can do anything he wants. Fucking Sullenberg.
That's right. That's right.
I'll
And-
personally comb his taint hairs.
Wait, I think he manscapes like me. I've talked to him. We do the same thing.
Yeah, he uses the mirror on the bathroom floor.
As like Mike said, legs
Wow.
up.
That's it. No, you just squat over a mirror and it's all good.
We lost Brett.
Get at it, bro.
He's done.
Man.
Imagine Sullenberg's white pubes just sitting on a mirror. See, my wife doesn't have to deal with that.
We lost Brett.
Yeah, Brett's out.
He's
He's
had
passed
enough.
out, actually.
It's a good time. It's a good
One
time
of
to
those
get out.
fucking guys that's gonna pull
Asphyxiation. Yeah, we have only 10 minutes left, so I really want to get to these big points here because we need everybody's help. And anyone that's listened to the live show straight through,
Thanks,
Instagram
guys.
that's on, anyone that has now downloaded the podcast version, thank you very much for staying through. But here is the deal. We need your help. This is a testament to exactly what the fuck is wrong with society today. There is a brewery that has spent their blood, sweat, and tears to get their brewery open, the small business on Long Island who produces tremendous beer in the industry that needs your help. We want you guys to go out there and make a fuss. Talk to your congressman. Talk to your local politicians, whoever it takes. We are going to say that, I'm going to say the Wort, the three of us, will absolutely be at the hearing. We need to know the information. You need to give us the Instagram, the social media, the contact so people can follow it, so people can find out, write a letter, type a letter, sign the letter, whatever you need to do to try to help a local business out, get their entire livelihood back on track to where it should be because some one spoon-fed douchebag asshole ended up not liking the concept is bullshit. We don't need this cancel culture bullshit. We need fucking people to do the right thing and to get this moving forward the way it should have been years ago. And listen, it's been a struggle for these guys. You got to think about the families. Have some empathy to what the fuck is going on in today's society. There are people that are trying to get their business up and running in the worst possible fucking situation that society has seen in God knows how many decades. And all you have to do is just contact somebody. Just write an email. Just tell people how you feel about how any local business shouldn't be cock-blocked by bullshit, nonsense, spoon-fed, pockets-lined garbage. I don't even know what else to say without really F-cursing all day, and I don't want to do that because I really want to hit it home. So the point is, when we step up as a brewing community on Long Island, and there's the angry emoji, you should feel angry for your local business, for your local residents, for the people that live here on Long Island that's trying to keep Long Island alive in this really tough time and beyond. This is a business that's going to last for years down the line. You're going to want to have this business open because you're going to want to go to a destination in a beautiful spot, in a beautiful area, in an awesome place in the world, whether you're here on Long Island, whether you're in the Northeast, whether you're across the country, traveling for business or traveling with the family, you're going to want a destination spot to come and hang out and enjoy a good craft beer made by local people with local ingredients. And to have that shit upended by some nasty-ass motherfucker is some fucking bullshit. So we got to stop that shit. We got to take the stand, go in there and show everybody that we support local business, we support local people and their families and the residency, and we're not going to take any of your fucking cancel culture bullshit to fucking make an extra few dollars for somebody else. So, gentlemen, I want you to give us the big plug on how people can come in and take their stand, what they can do to help you out, what they can do to contact you about anything that they've heard tonight, to chime in and to give their opinions or anything that they can see that you can use to build out the business and move forward. Give us that big plug. Go ahead, Dan, I'll start with you.
Let Brett go first. I'm sorry.
I'm drunk, and I'm surprised I got all of that information out, just so you know.
Here's the
God damn it, Mike. God damn it, Mike.
I'm a very functional drunk, just so you guys know.
And the other thing is,
and I'm almost like there is a little bit of this coming out.
Oh, stop it!
Exactly. That's why I have to pass it to Brett.
Mike, this is fucking fantastic.
That meant a lot.
We have our hearing date. You go to the Board of Hearings. You go to the town of Hempstead, where they have their Board of Hearings, and you can put your comments in.
Wait, what is the date? Does people have the date already?
We don't have. We're filing. We filed today.
Okay. So we're gonna find out the date, and then they can go on
So
to
we
your
will be
Instagram, Twitter,
broadcast.
Facebook, website, and you're gonna
We're
have
gonna
that
be
information.
broadcasting. We're gonna be fucking screaming and yelling for the date. When the date happens, everybody goes on the website for the town of Hempstead Board of Appeals. You can make comments and then find out when the hearing is. Just fucking hammer comments, because they have a forum to hammer comments. Like you can't email them, you can call them up, but you're not going to get shit from calling them up. Hammer the comments in.
Well, as much as the comments mean something, what's going to mean a lot is for you to show up in person, 6 feet apart from everybody, in a mask, telling people, I'm a real person and I believe in this industry. I believe in this business. That's what's really going to change things. I'm telling you, when they look out the window and there's people out in the street saying, fucking open this business, that's going to mean a lot to them.
And Mike, that's the thing that I was just going to get at is like what your idea is spectacular. Like that's the secondary thing. Like the first thing is to punch them in the face with all the fucking little minutia of emails and fucking whatever the crap that's going on. And then your thing, let's organize something. We'll talk after we're done. We'll talk a couple days later and we'll organize something and then get everybody down. And I love it.
Well, yeah, definitely put it on your Insta, your Facebook, and then send it to us. Put it on our Insta, our Facebook. This way it gets to several different locations.
And
then 100%, brother.
That I appreciate that, Steve. And the key thing is the most important people. Everybody's important, but the most important people are the Oceanside people. Oceanside. Anybody knows anybody in Oceanside. Like everybody's important. We can get people from all over the place. It's all good, but the Oceanside people are the most important people. And so if you know anybody in Oceanside, contact them and let's get that going. And
we'll do one's called Barrier, the other one's called South Shore.
Yeah. And also the kombucha, anyone else that's in the area that has a bar or restaurant that typically had an account with Long Beach.
Yeah. We're very good friends. We're very good friends with the kombucha people. But Rachel is fantastic over it. She is a very good person. She's behind us. We'll get Noble behind us, and that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
But the key thing is like our lawyer told us, Dennis Kelly. Dennis Kelly's fantastic. The problem is Oceanside is the key. Like we got to have Oceanside people.
Yeah, you have them behind you.
And that's the thing. But we'll take everybody. Because if anybody in this thing has any connection with any political person in New York State, that'll help us.
I'm thinking just simple letters to your local Nassau County representatives and even in the state. And like Steve said earlier, contacting Paul Leone from the New York State Brewers Association. That's a big deal. Do it tomorrow because Paul's a great guy and he supports all local breweries across the state. And if he hears this, cry for some sort of support, then he's going to take action. I promise you.
Send the dogs out.
Yep.
Wait,
release the hounds.
How does Paul Leone do it? This fucking guy.
Well, here's the thing.
And
Paul
he does all. How does he do it? He's amazing.
Well, you know what? Because it's a group of people from all throughout the state, and it takes some money, and it takes just being persistent.
Yeah,
putting out their agenda to the right people at the right time, making the right connections.
Right.
This group that's in the New York State Brewers Association is that group right now, and I truly, truly hope you reach out to them and say, look, this is what we got going on. Give them exactly what happened.
1 minute, Steve.
So they have everything they need to move forward and reach out to the right people.
Right.
Dan, last
And then
words from you.
Long Island
Sorry, Brett.
Brewers
go ahead.
Guild.
Brett.
I'm sorry. What's that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just going to say thank you, everybody, for trying to help us out. If you can, be there for us. Just trying to live our dreams out, man. Doing the best we can to give you the best.
Long Island Brewers Guild is also behind us. I talked to Pete from North Fork. They're like, we'll do whatever we can.
Oh yeah. They only have so much pull though. It's New York State Brewers Association is the true.
That's big cheese.
They're the one. They're the advocates. They're the guys that
cheese.
talk to the politicians.
And that's it. And they have the lobbyists in Albany, and they help set the rules and the regulations. So that might be, and also Paulione is the start of that, and then you go beyond that if you're not getting the right responses. No offense to Paul, but he's only one person. So as much as he can do, there is so much more. Cut off the head of the dragon, and two more will emerge. He's got his staff. He's got people to go in there. So anyone that's hearing this and seeing this, take action and get this brewery through to the next round, because you will be missing out if you decide to take a trip down here to Long Island, or if you live here on Long Island, on some great beer throughout the industry.
Yep.
This is the Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. See, I didn't fuck it up.